All rise, salute the flag. I pledge allegiance
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of
of the United States of America and to the
the
republic for which it
stands,
stands,
one nation,
one nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence in honor of our veterans, our servicemen and women, and those who have given the ultimate sacrifice. I don't have a gavel. I'll just knock. The clerk already read the attendance. I jumped ahead. We do have some guest citizen achievements and announcements. I will read this. The winners of the Malden Reads door decorating contest will appear before the City Council to receive citations, as well as a copy of the Malden Reads book. The winning submissions will be featured on Malden Reads website and social media. Council DiMaria did send me an email requesting to pay homage, so I do now recognize Council DiMaria.
Thank you, Councilor Spatafora. And what I would like to do is first off tell everyone what a wonderful job Malden Reads did this year. Even through our COVID, they continued with, one book, one city. And I believe Jody Zalk, who is on the call, is going to show us just a really nice, quick overview of the winners of the door decorating contest. So honestly, it's a wonderful program, and I would like to include Jody on this. If you can.
Thank you, Councilor DiMaria.
Great.
I will share my screen so that folks can see the some information about the contest, and I can share the winners. We're so thrilled to have the City Council collaborate with Malden Reads.
Jody,
and
Jody, I mean, can you make this? Can you make that bigger? I don't know if the other councils are not seeing it, or maybe.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hang on one second.
Yeah, no worries.
My Zoom controls are in the way, and they're not.
No worry. I just want to make sure
pushing up, but I
want to make sure everybody can see it.
Is it F5 to hit?
There you go.
Well,
you probably want to do the slideshow.
In the lower right-hand corner, right before you can make the plus and minus, there's a little, the last symbol before the negative sign
there.
on the bottom.
Sorry.
Awesome. Great.
I appreciate the tech support. Sorry for that. So Councilor DiMaria had been a collaborative partner with Malden Reads and a number of other organizations as well. We want to recognize Malden Arts, the North Shore Black Women's Association, and everyone on the City Council as well for helping to participate in this contest. We had been inspired by the Black Culture Club's door decorating contest from Malden High School, and for our contest, we wanted to have doors throughout the community reflecting the themes from this year's Malden Reads book selection, Born a Crime. And so the themes that we were really focusing on were community, racial equity and social justice, cross-cultural friendships, humor and its healing powers, global awareness, as well as global hip hop. So with that, I am now going to share the winners, and I'll go in order of age from the youngest up through the adult category. So our youngest winner is from kindergarten. This is Sean with his door. And we were so pleased to be able to select Sean as a winner. The second was a pair of brothers in early elementary school. We had Owen and Andrew with this message of love and the American flag and a number of cute characters on the bottom. And the last winner from the children's categories was a 5th grader named Alina. And this was her wonderful submission, and we appreciated it so much, with the message "United We Stand" right in the middle, with LGBTQ+, as well as a symbol for Black Lives Matter, as well as a number of flags and a world right there in the middle. And then that brings us to our best overall decoration. And this was submitted by Robin. And there's two characters here. One girl who appears to be white, one boy who appears to be a person of color, with a number of different thought bubbles or speaking bubbles that say gratitude, equality, respect, and a number of messages. And something that really resonated with me, the message, "I do stand with you. Help me understand your pain. The bloodshed must stop. Black Lives Matter." So with that, again, we want to thank all of our sponsors for helping us to collaborate and have this spark throughout our community, as well as all of the participants, including Councilor DiMaria, as well as others. And we just want to thank everyone for participating in this program, as well as all of our Malden Reads programs. With that, Councilor DiMaria, I believe that we have one of the winners this evening with us, Robin Inman, who had won Best Overall. And we're so happy that Robin had participated and shared her artwork. And I am hoping that the children will be able to view the City Council recording if they're not online. I don't see them here.
Council Spatafor, I do see that Sean B is the Q&A and has said that he is here, the kindergarten winner.
Oh, thank you for
Oh,
having those.
wow.
Oh, that's fantastic. So he's in the, he said he's in the
Tara,
attendees.
it's under Tara Beardsley in the.
Tara Beardsley, his mom.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me just find Tara. Tara, give me 1 second, Tara. I get two screens going here. There we go.
And Counselor, if I could just interrupt real quick, the City Council is preparing citations for all the winners from us, and they will be forthcoming, Jody. So just so you know, we are so proud of everybody, and a citation from the City Council will be sent to each winner. So thank you.
Thank you. And Malden Reads also will be following up with all of the winners to provide them with copies of a book, one of our Malden Reads selections.
Great. So thank you, Jody. I believe, Tara, I believe you, the mic is live. I believe I hear some noise. So Tara, can you speak? Or
Yep. Sean wants to say something. Oh, his
perfect.
video's
Sean,
on?
do you want me to put Sean on video? You can put Sean on video if
Yeah,
you
go
want.
ahead. Yep.
Sean,
He's been waving to you guys.
Well, you got to turn your camera on. Tara.
It is on.
It is not. That's Kurt's computer.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is my computer. It just says Q&A, leave. Okay. We
I
only
don't-
have mute at the bottom. Oh, wait.
Can you turn your camera on? If not, I might have to promote you, but give me 1 second. If that's the case, I'll promote you. Give me 1 second.
Yep.
Promote the panelists. I'm going to bring you in as panelists, and you might have that functionality now. So Tara, let me know.
Oh, now there's video. Yep.
Okay, sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Oh, yeah. That's wonderful. Yay, Sean.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Come, Sean.
Thank you.
Yep, it's always tough to follow an animal or a little kid. That's great. Well, you have the whole council. Yeah, Council O'Malley has his hand up first. So stay on the line, Sean. So Council O'Malley, I believe you had your hand up. Council DiMaria, you all set? I don't want to.
I'm all set. Thank you.
So Council O'Malley, you had your hand up first. I
I
recognize
just wanted
you.
to say thank you and
Yep.
congratulations to all the winners, Robin and Sean. Thanks for joining us tonight. Y'all did a really great job.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Murphy and then Council Linehan.
Thank you very much, Council Spatafor. I want Robin, great design. It's good to see you again. Haven't seen you in a while. And Sean, my goodness, look at how big you are. I remember when you were born. You did such a great job on that door. So very proud of you. I know. You're welcome.
Oh, cute.
Thank you, Council Spatafor.
Sure.
Bye, Sean.
So stay on, Sean. We'll let you know. So Councilor Linehan, you have your hands up next.
Thank you, Councilor Spatafor. I just wanted to say congrats to all the winners. Sean, amazing, amazing work. You should be so, so proud. And Robin, of course, making Ward 3 proud. So kudos to you too. Congrats to all. What a wonderful contest and community event. So thanks to the organizers as well.
Okay, let me see if there's any other hands. Come on, this is you got everybody's.
Everybody.
Okay, Councilor Crowe is next. Councilor Crowe.
I just want to say congratulations to Malden Reads for a fantastic year of programming, and this is a great. I wish I was as creative as Sean or Robin, but that's not going to happen. So I just want to say congratulations to Malden Reads and to the winners and to all the people that participated in not just this program, but all the other programs that you've been offering all year. So great job, great job. Keep up the good work.
Councilor, you all set, Councilor Crowe. I'm sorry. Councilor Kamel.
Yep, I just wanted to say congratulations to all the winners and especially Sean. Good job, man. Good job, Sean.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
Councilor, you all set, Councilor Kamel? Yeah, okay, Councilor Condon, you're next.
Yeah, Sean and Robin, congratulations. Great work. And also congratulations to Malden Reads. It seems like every year you outdo yourself. And it's nice to see these kids work together. And congratulations, guys.
Thank you, Councilor Condon. Councilor Condon and Councilor Murphy and the Council in. If you just keep your hands down, it'd be great, just so I can track, because I got to circulate with all the hands. Anybody else who want to speak? Any other councilors? Okay, if I don't see any of the councilors, I will just say the same thing. I'll echo the other councilors. I think it's certainly important to read all the time, and Malden Reads always does a great job. I think last year was probably even more important to read, to get away inside a good book, given what was going on in the real world, and the ability to, Malden Reads, it really says something about the community to continue in this in a really unique year, and having the ability to bring residents, especially children like Sean, a little joy in what was probably a lackluster year for kids, and not only to get an award, to see them standing outside in the fresh air is great, and hopefully we're past this. But again, thank you to Malden Reads. And Sean, congratulations. And maybe in a couple of years, you'll be up here as a counselor congratulating some of us. So good luck, and great job on your door. Jody, any other words, any other closing remarks or anything?
Again, really want to thank Robin and Sean for being here. Want to thank them for their participation. It's programs like this that bring us together, help showcase the amazing creativity in our community. And we're just so pleased to have so much participation and the collaboration, and that's what it's all about. So thank you all so much.
Well, thank you. Okay, seeing none, I'm going to circulate.
Councilor Spatafora?
Yep. Go ahead, Councilor DiMaria.
Thank you so much. If we have Robin on the phone, I don't know if she wanted to say 2 words, while we have her on
Absolutely.
the phone. Thank you. I mean,
absolutely. Yeah.
Go.
Robin, you're a panelist, so you can speak and we can see you. So I don't think your line's muted, but go ahead. I think you're muted, Robin. Try it now. Yeah, I still can't hear it. Does anybody else hear her? Let me see if I don't think I can control it. No. I can't hear you, Robin. No, you try it again, Robin. It says mute. It wasn't muted before. Try to unmute your line one more time. No, I can't hear her.
That's okay.
Hold on. No, it says unmute, Robin, but we don't hear you. I apologize. Sorry, Council DiMaria.
That's okay. We tried.
Well, congratulations, Robin. Great work. All right. Seeing no other hands, again, congratulations. Next order of business.
Well, it's public comment. We got a flood of letters. I do have, I took the first come, first serve, the people that put their name and address. I have 3 people that are in the queue that made the top 15. There's Frank Sienna, Amanda Bells, and Nicole Masalam. They all indicated they would want to speak. And then I have 12 letters to read. And there was 41 additional letters that, went over the top, but there was 40 in favor of the Linden skating rink, and there was 1 opposed on that 41. So do you want me to read the letters first, or do you want to let Frank, Amanda, and Nicole in?
Let's read the letters first.
Okay.
Actually, you know what, Counselor? I don't want to have them waiting. They're here, so let's bring them on. We can always read the letter. It's not fair for them to. So Frank what's Frank's last name? Just so I make sure
C-I-N-A.
Okay, so Frank, Frank, do you want to go on camera? Actually, I'm allowed to talk because this way it's a little bit easier. Frank, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Do you want to go on camera, Frank?
Sure.
Okay, I got to move you into the room. Promote the panelist. So you should have the ability to turn your camera on, Frank.
Okay.
And then
Nope,
Frank,
sorry
you
about
just
that.
yep. And you just want to state your name and address for the record, Frank.
Okay, my name's Frank Sienna. I'm at 120 Mountain Avenue.
Okay, Frank, you have the floor.
Okay, good evening, members of the City Council. My name's Frank Sienna. I live at 120 Mountain Ave. I'd like to address the finance paper 143-21 that relates to the community development block grant. Is that what we're talking about, or are we talking about something else?
Yep. It's public comment. Yep, but go ahead.
Okay, I want to express my support for the line item of $150,000 to use for the installation of ADA sidewalks and improper signals. As a member of the City of Malden's Disability Commission and someone who is in a wheelchair, I can stressfully enough importance of doing everything we can to make sure our sidewalks are safe and accessible for all users. We can see the difference it makes with a lot of upgrades that's been already done, but we need more. We need to do more. When public spaces are improved and made accessible, everyone benefits. Making our sidewalks ADA compliant improves mobility and safety for everybody. People walking, the elderly, people in wheelchairs, and people who push baby strollers. It's all about safety. So I hope you will look favorable on this funding request, and I want to thank you for letting me speak tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
So Frank, I can't shut your camera off, and I don't want to
Okay.
shut. There you go. And if you could just mute yourself, because you're a panelist, and if I kick you out, you can't get back on. So I don't want to take away your ability to view the meeting. Perfect, Frank. Thank you. Clerk Lucy, the
So
next
there's
name.
another person, Amanda Bells, B-E-L-L-E-S.
I see her. Amanda, would you like to speak and be on camera too, or just speak?
Camera's fine.
Okay, let me just bring you right on. Promote to panelist. And Amanda Bell, same thing that I just asked Frank, just name and address for the record, and you should be on now. There you go, Amanda, you're on.
Perfect. Hello.
You're welcome.
So it's Amanda Bellis. Don't worry, everybody says Bells. And I live at 4 Stone Lane in Malden, so Ward 8. Thank you for allowing me to speak. So obviously I'm a Malden resident, but I'm also going through the process of being appointed to the Malden Disability Commission. I agree with what Frank said. I would say that, the finance paper 143-21, the line item of $150,000 just as Frank said, it doesn't benefit just people that have various abilities and varying abilities. It really benefits everyone. You think about it, it makes restaurants, local businesses, facilities, everything able to be accessed by everyone. So not only does that benefit the residents, but any non-residents that want to come into our city and come to our restaurants, come to our local businesses, use our facilities, so it also benefits in general the Malden economy. So it's a win-win. And I would also say, if for whatever reason you're thinking about not supporting that line item, I would ask you to reconsider that. Because frankly, it's the right thing to do. We always, I'm sure we're all in support of making Malden more accessible and inclusive to all. So this would help us, take us a step in that direction. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Bellis. Sorry about pronouncing your name wrong.
You're fine.
And the third person would be Nicole Masalan.
Okay, Nicole, if you're hearing me, I'm coming over right now to give you access. Nicole, you should be hearing me. Do you want to be on camera or just allowed to speak? Either way is fine with us. I just have to bring you over to the participant side, panelist side.
Camera's fine.
Okay, 1 second.
And then so I'll pop right out because it's almost iftar time for us. It's Ramadan at the moment.
Oh, okay. Give me 1 second. Where did you go? Are you on? Is your camera on?
Oh, for some reason my camera's not on. Give me. Oh. It's not giving me the option to switch on my camera for some reason.
We see your great headshot though.
Well, okay.
Hold on, let me try right now, Nicole. Give me 1 second, Nicole.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Sorry about that. I don't think it went all the way through. I got to click it again.
Voila. So, hi everyone. My name is Nicole Musalam. I live at 64 Essex Street. Thank you for hosting us this evening. Basically, I'm appearing on behalf of the Malden Disability Commission as our chair. And I just had a few remarks to say in support of finance paper 143-21 that relates to the community development block grant, specifically a line item giving $150,000 to be used for the installation of ADA sidewalks and improved signals. The Disability Commission is one of the younger commissions of the city. In fact, I believe we've only been together for about 2 years. But in that time, we've done a lot of community outreach. And in fact, just this year, beginning of this year, we finished our first ADA self-evaluation for the entire city. As a component of that, we did a community survey where various members of the Malden family were able to share with us some of the difficulties that they face regarding accessibility within our city. One of those, a big chunk of those comments was indeed sidewalks. KMA Accessibility and Architecture, the firm that completed this, did state that Malden is in dire need to engage in targeted architectural barrier removal at facilities, listing sidewalks amongst those. And in fact, graded addressing our sidewalks and accessibility and signals as a B priority, meaning that it needs to be addressed within the next 6 months to 1 year, with an A priority being immediate. So the Disability Commission is very grateful that Councillor Winslow has already reached out to us regarding this paper to request our collaboration on this to identify the most critical needs. However, this is, we view as a short-term solution. We hopefully look at doing a citywide sidewalk survey, which was a recommendation by KMA, so that we can begin a long-term process of addressing these. And just in closing, I would like to, leave one last remark. in the draft report for the findings and recommendations, it does state that survey responses indicate that the engineering department is aware of old and non-compliant sidewalk wheelchair ramps throughout the city. Public survey responses have also had many comments regarding the current sidewalk condition. So we know that this is a problem. Our city engineering department is very aware of it. So I think we need to move forward now and then begin a long-term process. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. So Nicole, I can't stop thank you. I appreciate that. Just so everybody's listening, is when we move somebody over to the panelist, if I take them out, we unfortunately lose control and they can't come back into the meeting. So just so we make sure we don't get any background noise or anybody jumping in during the meeting. So I appreciate that. So thank you to Frank, Nicole, and Amanda for speaking on behalf of the Disability Commission in that line item. Clerk, there are no other speakers, correct?
There are none, so I do have the letters to read.
Okay, go ahead.
As a lifelong resident of Malden, I remember vividly when the city used to flood the parks for skating. The chance to make this a reality once again is within reach and will provide the opportunity for families to spend more time having fun. I support this wholeheartedly. William Satimio, 4 Wellington Street, Malden. Good morning. I'm writing to voice my support for the proposal of funds to rehabilitate the Linden Street hockey rink. If the rink was overhauled to accommodate ice skating throughout winter months, it would be beneficial in a couple of ways. Number one, the most important, would give our kids a healthy way to get out of the house and get fresh air in the winter and be with their friends instead of sitting in the house watching TV and playing video games. It's a healthy and fun option. Number two, family fun and togetherness. We all spend so much time away from our families, working or school, etc. This would be wonderful to have the option to skate together as a family. We're 100% behind this. Thank you. Erin Simpson, 74 District, Dexter Street. Dear Council, first I would like to thank and commend you on your commitment to serving the city of Malden. My name is Charlie Conifrey, 220 Middle Street, West Newbury, Mass. And I'm Director of Athletics, Physical and Health Education for the Malden Public Schools K through 12. I'm reaching out to you today to express my support for the Linden Skating Rink project. Growing up in Malden, memories of youth ice hockey and street hockey with teammates and friends are fond. Today, the landscape of hockey is very different compared to 25 to 30 years ago. At Malden High School, we have a cooperative boys ice hockey team with Revere for the past 5 years. Prior to that, we had a cooperative team with Pope John. On the girls' side, we have a cooperative ice hockey team with Medford High School. As the youth level, we have a cooperative team with children from Malden, Revere, Mystic Valley, Everett, and East Boston, East Coast Patriot hockey team. In addition, we have a limited number of girls who compete in figure skating. I mention this because the interest to play hockey and skate is here, as it has always been at all age levels. Providing improvements to the current footprint to create a safe playing environment year-round for ice hockey, leisure skating, and street hockey will be a welcome addition. It is my understanding that improvements will be made on the current space, including up-to-date rink boards and siding, level playing surface that can easily and safely produce a layer of ice to skate on. Investing funds to create a play space that does not currently exist within the city is an investment I believe residents will be grateful for. Today, the opportunity to skate, learn to skate, play ice hockey only exists if you play for a club, school, or skating organization. Therefore, creating such a space will be an equitable play space addition. As stated above, the interest and passion for skating and playing hockey has deep roots within the city of Malden. Thank you in advance for your consideration to fund the Linden Skating Rink. I would be happy to discuss and answer any question you may have on how funding this project will benefit the children, youth, adolescents, as well as adults within the city. Best regards, Charlie Conifrey, Director of Athletics, Physical Education, Health, K through 12, Malden. I think it's a great idea that the old rink to be done over. With the cost of hockey already sky high, this is a great way for kids to get back on ice. Eric Grasso, 101 Federal Street, Boston. Good morning, Greg. I hope you're doing great. I'm writing to let you know that I'm in full support of the rehab of Children Street Hockey Rink. I think that this would be a great opportunity for our kids to be able to access this during the winter months. I think an outdoor community rink would be a great addition to Malden. Thank you for your consideration. Amy Diavolo, 42 Whipple Street. To whom it may concern. We have been hearing the last couple of years that the ice hockey rink at Linden Park may be all overhauled and would hopefully be able to be frozen in the winter with skating and hockey times available. Now it seems as if this is just a vote away from happening. As a hockey family, we hope the council will seriously consider voting to make this happen. This would open the door to so many families in our community to try skating and hockey without having to leave Malden or making a commitment. Having somewhere that our kids could skate with their friends while still being outdoors, especially during these times, is a huge reason to vote in favor of this project. I'm sure with some community planning, there are a lot of hockey families that have extra skates and or equipment laying around that we would be willing to donate to allow more people the opportunity to try skating and hockey. Please vote yes and approve the project. Thank you, Katie and Mike Bowders, 24 Quincy Street. Hello, I'm writing to express my support for paper 201-21, which includes the funds for the rehabilitation of Linden Street Hockey Rink. As we continue to find ways to expand usable outdoor space and get our kids to be active outdoors, these funds will allow for another avenue to do that. Further, when used as an ice rink in the cold months, there'll be opportunities for a wider cross-section of the population to utilize the space via public skating sessions and other ice-related programs. The current space barely accomplishes any of those purposes now, and utilizing these funds would provide an obvious benefit to the community. Thank you, Justin Saunders, 20 Gilbert Street. Dear Mr. Lucy, I'm writing in support of the Linden Community Rink. As a parent of a hockey player, access to ice is something severely lacking in Malden. The rink by the high school has almost no opportunities for open skating, leaving us to travel to area cities. In pre-COVID times, we have enjoyed the outdoor rinks in Medford. Some of our friends would skate on Fellsmere Pond, but that is not something we do not find safe. My husband and I both grew up skating as a fun family activity. I learned to skate on a frozen over baseball field, so the idea of a permanent and safe outdoor skating spot is something we fully support. We have also participated in street hockey leagues and clinics run by other city recreation departments. So it'd be nice if after the park is renovated, we could do something like that for the kids of Malden. There are limited options for kids in the city who are not into soccer, baseball, or basketball. Lastly, even though we are a hockey family, we hope this rink moves forward. There is equal opportunity for open skating, hockey, and figure skating. Heidi and William Smith, 24 Forest Street. Dear Clerk Lucy, as an educator, aunt, and supporter of children who love to skate, I would like to express my strong support for the Linden Community Rink project. I feel that this project is a great opportunity to get our youth outside and active during the winter months. With COVID, many parents are looking for outdoor activities to do with their families. The rink is also greatly in need of renovations, and being able to convert it to ice skating for winter months would only make it more enjoyable for all. This is the perfect time to make something like this happen. The Linden Community Rink, street hockey rink, is an integral part, an important part of Linden Park. It has been part of the community for generations. Every November, it welcomes them back for the Home for the Holidays street hockey tournament. I'm extremely grateful for the opportunities that this project will provide for our Malden families, and I again strongly recommend and support the renovation and revitalization of the Linden Community Rink. Sincerely yours, Amanda Spain, 240 Pearl Street. Dear Clerk Lucy, as a parent and grandparent of children who love to skate, I would like to express my support for the Linden Community Rink project. This project is a great opportunity to get our youth outside and active during the winter months. With COVID, many parents are looking for outside activities to do with their families. The rink is in greatly need of renovations, and being able to convert it to ice skating in the winter months would make it enjoyable for all. This is the perfect time to make this happen. The Linden Community Rink, street hockey rink, has been part of the community for generations. Every November, it welcomes them back for the Home for the Holidays street hockey tournament. This project will provide many opportunities for Malden families. I support and strongly recommend the renovation and revitalization of the Linden Community Rink. Sincerely, Margaret Hurley, Adams Street, Malden. To whom it may concern, I support this project. I've seen so many kids using the rink. It is important that kids have resources in Malden like this. Thank you, Alicia Spadafora, 332 Pearl Street. Dear Clerk Lucy, as a parent of children who love to skate, I would like to express my strong support for the Linden Community Rink project. I feel this project is a great opportunity to get our youth outside and active during the winter months. With COVID, many parents are looking for outdoor activities to do with their families. The rink is also greatly in need of renovations, and being able to convert it to ice skating for winter months would only make it more enjoyable for all. This is the perfect time to make something like this happen. The Linden Community Rink, street hockey rink, is an integral and important part of Linden Park. It has been part of the community for generations. Early November, it welcomes them back for the Home for Holiday street hockey tournament. I am extremely grateful for the opportunities that the project will provide for our Malden families, and I again strongly recommend and support the renovation and revitalization of community rinks. Sincerely yours, Gina Spadafora Hurley and Joe Hurley. Joey, age 14, Justin, age 10, Justin, age 5, 332 Coral Street. And that's it. And like I say, to the folks that didn't hear their letters read, we had 41 others for the rink and one against.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Council Murphy, your hand is raised, so I want to make sure that I am not listening to you.
I am so sorry. I will take it down.
No, that's fine. I just want to make sure I didn't know if you had a question. Okay, so I believe that covers, excuse me, Councilor, still getting used to this role, so I just want to make sure that covers, Clerk, that covers all the public comment, correct?
Yes, it does. Yep.
Okay, approval of minutes is next, correct, Clerk?
Yeah, there's no minutes to be approved.
Okay, and then we're up to appointments and elections, and I believe there is a mayoral appointment.
Paper 182-21, mayoral reappointment, Kevin Alkins, 10 Hillside Road, Tewksbury, Mass. Is the Inspector of Animals and term to expire April 30th, 2022.
On Councilor Crow's motion to refer the
No, Councilor Spatafora,
I'm
because it's a reappointment. We've been doing those on the floor. And I will let people know that those that, for the disabilities, I'm working on scheduling a meeting to get those additional people on there. Just like a little side note. So I'll make a motion to reappoint Kevin Alkins as the Inspector of Animals.
Second that.
Okay, so 1 second, Councilor Mel, you had your hand up. Was in reference to this?
Correct.
Okay, I apologize. There's a little. Everybody knows a little bit of a script. It said it referred, just so everybody knows. So we're not going to refer. Okay, on Councilor Crow's motion to reappoint, seconded by
Me. I just wanted to say how much I've appreciated working with Kevin as the animal control officer. And
I'm sorry, Councilor Murphy. I didn't know you.
No worries. Thank you.
Councilor O'Malley.
I'm good. Thank you.
Councilor Linehan, your hand up?
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to say the same. I really, really appreciate Kevin's work. I never knew how much I would talk to him when I first got elected, but between the pond and the fells, I feel like I'm on the phone with him every 2 days. He's one of the most dedicated people I've ever seen. So wholeheartedly support this.
Anybody else want to say kudos to our favorite animal control officer? Okay, well, I guess I will say the same thing that Councilor Linehan said. I've known Mr. Alkins for a long, long time. He does a lot of things for the city. Sometimes he's wearing a costume, for all the adults who understands what I'm saying. People don't realize he does that out of his heart, and it's really much appreciated by this council. I know we helped Councilor Linehan and myself this year. We did something at the pond, but also surprisingly, we've had a lot of wild birds in Malden that got injuries, and I called Mr. Alkins, and while he doesn't do it, there's a resident, actually there's a couple, but there's one I think that lives in Ward 3 that came down right away, and they were able to help recover the in this case was a falcon, and they recuperate him. And so it's pretty impressive feat, not only to have that type of wildlife here, but to actually see them do this. It's great to see them being able to save these animals, which probably a couple of years ago, unfortunately, we didn't have that type of care. So kudos to Mr. Alkins. So I will get to the motion. So on Councilor Crow's motion to reappoint, seconded by, I know there was two councilors.
Condon.
Seconded by Councilor Condon. Clerk will call the roll.
Mel,
Yes.
Condon,
Yes.
Crow,
Yes.
DiMaria,
Yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
A big yes.
O'Malley,
Yes.
Tika,
Yes.
Spatafora,
Spatafora, yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Next order of business.
Paper 183-1, a petition Celco Partnership DBA Verizon Wireless to collocate small wireless facilities, also referred to as small cells, on existing wooden utility poles located within the public right-of-way in the following locations: 115 Bowden Street, 283 Salem Street, Bryant Street side, 380 Salem Street, 173 Bainbridge Street, 42 Blantyre Road, 177 Forest Street, 140 Mount Vernon Street, 4 Montrose Court, Tremont Street side, 3 Nealon Street, Mountain Ave side, 146 Clifton Street, 79 Tremont Street, Mountain Ave side, 50 Holden Street, 205 Ferry Street, High Street side, 29 Ashland Street, 33 Converse Ave, 40 Hancock Street, 40 Pratt Street, 168 Madison Street, 43 Florence Street, and 80 Mountain Street.
Motion to refer.
Yeah, Council Linehan's motion to refer to the petition to public properties. Clerk will call.
Second.
Oh, okay. Seconded by Councilor DiMaria.
Can I ask a quick question?
Absolutely, Councilor O'Malley.
So I've gotten a few calls about this. Have we already sent out the notices for the hearing, or is that still going to happen?
I think it still has to happen.
The hearings are set up for May 4th.
Oh, okay. So it's already been sent out. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? Councilman, can you just keep your hand? Thank you. And I just want to say from the chair, I'm probably going to be doing it next week's meeting. I don't know about you, councilors, but I had the joy of having my kids back in soccer last weekend and dance. So I was traversing around the city. I'm going to ask for an updated list of all double poles in the city of Malden. I think there's 4 on Highland Ave right now. And the reason why I say that is we've been putting up a lot of these 5G. I would like to see these double poles come down in a faster clip before we continue to allow these carriers to come in the city and put 5G without them solving some of the challenges. So that will be on next week's talk. I just want to give everybody, if everybody, can look around their ward, but I am going to ask to get a list. Sometimes it takes a little while, but I was just amazed how many I saw in the city driving around this weekend with my kids going between dance and soccer. So, Councilor Camillo has his hand up. Thank you, Councilor.
Thank you, Council Spatafora. So just because Council Spatafora mentioned that, I might be getting ahead of myself. I'm going to bring this up a little bit later on. We had this discussion about half the ones that you'll see later in a committee report are in Ward 6. And in my memory, I knew one was just up the street around the corner from me that I walk by frequently. I knew there was a double pole. And we had a little conversation then about, well, we put the stipulation and we put the condition in that there has to be, they can't be installed in double poles, but we sort of came to the realization that it maybe needs a little bit more teeth in that. So worked a little bit with our building commissioner, Mr. Nelson Miller, and helped me come up with a language that I'm going to be suggesting as a condition for the ones later. And I think we should put this in either as a standard condition or get this into the ordinance, so it's a standard thing. But if it's okay, I'll read that. The final electrical inspection for the purpose of releasing the electric meter will not be performed at any location where a double pole exists. So that comes out of the situation that one last electrical inspection by our wire inspectors is an actual, necessary thing that gives us one more touch point physically out there with those things. So that will help put a little bit more enforceability with that condition. So I think coming at it from both directions is a good way to go about it. So thank you, Councilor Spatafora, for mentioning that. And
Nope, happy to do so. Councilor Condon, then Councilor Linehan.
Thank you. I was under the understanding that they would be transferring their wires and everything, but the cell box wouldn't be put in until the double pole was down. Did those 4 double poles you said on Highland Avenue, acting President Spatafora, did they have a cell box on them?
They didn't, and I just want to be clear.
They did?
No, they didn't, and I want to be clear.
Okay.
These are not 5G poles. I'm just saying that I seem to see a lot more double poles in the city. I think they're only taking them off the ones that they want to put the 5G on because we're forcing the hand. I think the other ones are static. So I would like to see what the entire universe in the city of Malden is before we entertain adding, 20 more of these, because these are the only ones I think they're fixated on. And my point is the ones on Highland Ave were in 3 cases were near driveways, and it's tough to get in the driveway without another pole in the way, never mind traffic. So I would just like to get an overarching idea. Council Condon and some of the other councils, we used to get a report like every 3 months. I haven't seen one in a long time, and Council DiMaria certainly knows too. So I would just like to get an updated one, because we have the ability right now to force their hand, I think, by limiting, I think, some of these 5G. And again, I want the public to know that I'm not trying to be difficult, but this is the only time we get the ability to do so is when they need something. So my hope is that we get some coordination between the utilities and Comcast to get these poles removed. The wires, rather, off the poles, Council Condon.
Okay, thank you.
Council Linehan.
Thank you, Councilor Spatafor. Yeah, I was just going to say, I think it's worthwhile to try to get an inventory. I certainly haven't seen one. From what I understand, they used to be done pretty regularly, and it seems like it's a pretty routine thing that we could request. I know that, if we veer into trying to stop all the 5G while that happens, we probably can't, we have to do them in parallel, I guess, is we don't want to run afoul of any state or federal regulations that we would look like we were blocking them. But I do think if we, go kind of in tandem, use the leverage we have as the small cells come up to put that as a condition on their approval, and then get that inventory. That's definitely something just from a eyesore and blight standpoint that I'd like to see as well. So I'm definitely very supportive of that idea.
Great, thank you. No other hands. So again, on Councilor Linehan's motion to refer the petition to public properties, seconded by Council DiMaria, the clerk will call the roll.
Kamel,
Yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crow,
Yes.
Maria,
Yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
Yes.
Sika,
yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora,
Spatafor, yes. Motion is, order is referred to public properties. Next order of business.
you want me to read all these papers, all these licenses, Council?
Yeah, if there's no objection from the council, there are several, well, they're all going to be referred to licensing. Can we read them as a group and just refer them as a once? Any objection from the councils?
Nope.
Okay, hearing none and seeing none. Clerk, go
Okay, there's
ahead.
one duplicate on here, so I'm not gonna read it twice. Paper 184-21 outdoor parking. Andrea Ciso, 25 Flora Street, 34 spaces, it's a renewal. Paper 185-21 outdoor parking. Andrea Ciso, 29 Madison Street, 40 spaces, it's a renewal. Paper 206-21 outdoor park and Northeast Transport and Snow Services, Inc., 531 Rear Broadway, 5 spaces, it's a renewal. Paper 186-21 outdoor parking, Robin McNulty, 28 Cedar Street, 14 spaces, it's a renewal. Paper 187-21 pawnbroker, Golds and Diamonds, etc., Inc., 29 Pleasant Street, it's a renewal. Paper 188-21 secondhand deal at Golden Diamond, etc., Inc., 29 Pleasant Street, it's a renewal. Paper 205-21 secondhand deal at GameStop, 44 Broadway, Suite A-110, it's a renewal. Paper 189-21 pool table, Irish American, 177 West Street, 2 tables, it's a renewal. Paper 190-21 pool table, Club 24 Inc., 787 Salem Street, 2 tables, it's a renewal. And paper 191-21 self-service gas station, Speedway, number 2504, 214 Broadway, it's a renewal.
Questions, comments, concerns?
Motion to send them to committee, license committee, please.
Okay, on Councilor Condon's motion to refer the petitions to the license committee, seconded by anybody?
Second.
Seconded by, I heard Council Kamel first. Clerk will call the roll.
Kamel,
Yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crow,
Yes.
Maria,
Yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
Yes.
Sika,
yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora.
Spatafor, yes. Okay, next order of business. So before us, councilors, I will turn it over. There are a couple financial papers before us. We're going to take a couple out of order, and we're going to have to suspend docket rules. I'll give you a little. Councilor Murphy, do you want to speak on that, or do you want me to speak on it? It's up to you.
Yes, actually, we can just go through them in order if you don't mind, because the first 3 are just going to be referred to finance.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if you wanted to read the first 3 all together and just refer them at once.
You can, yeah, that would be perfectly fine with me if there's no objection.
Okay. If there's any objection from the committee to group the first 3 and send them to refer them to finance. Go ahead, Council Malley.
I just had a quick question. Are they three separate pots of money? Because I just added it up, and the total is $13 million. Is that or do they overlap?
There's, may I, through the chair?
Yeah, I was going to refer to you.
There's three separate pots of money that go with a paper that actually came down last year, which we'll discuss in more detail in finance, that has to do with the, the reconstruction of all of the water works. Well, not all of it, but a significant amount of water works and sewer work that will be done during fiscal years 2021 through 2025, calendar years 2021 through 2025. So we'll have a robust discussion on it in finance next week when we move them over to finance. But it is a paper from it's actually a paper from last year. And this is the funding associated with the proposal.
So it's the total of the three papers at 13
Yes,
million.
that is correct.
And is that coming out of our free cash?
No, it's basically two of the papers are MWRA zero interest loans. And then the third paper is from the Water Sewer Enterprise Fund.
Thank you so much.
Okay, any other questions? Council Connor, do you have a hand up, or is that just left over? Okay, thank you. Okay, so no objections. We're going to group these three papers together. They are only being referred to finance, but great question. So clerk will call the clerk. Please read the three papers.
Paper 192-21, order that $4,160,971 is appropriated to pay cost of design and construction of sewer system improvements throughout the city to be undertaken in fiscal years 2021 through 2025, inclusive, and to meet this appropriation, the treasurer will, with the approval of the mayor, is authorized to borrow said amount under Mass General Laws, Chapter 44, 7, and 8, or any other enabling authority. All or any portion of this amount may be borrowed through the Massachusetts Water Resource Authority infiltration/inflow local financial assistance program, and in conjunction therewith, the mayor and the treasurer are each authorized to enter into one or more loans and or security agreements with the MWRA, and the mayor is authorized to contract to and expend any federal, state, and other aid available for the project, including any grant related to such project from the MWRA, and to take any other action necessary to carry out this project. Any premium received upon the sale of any bonds or notes approved by this vote, less any such premium applied. Paper 193-21, ordered that $4,779,200 is appropriated to pay cost of design and construction of water system improvements throughout the city to be undertaken in fiscal year 2021 through 2025, inclusive, and to meet this appropriation, the treasurer, with approval of the mayor, is authorized to borrow said amount under Mass General Law, Chapter 44, 7, and 8, or any other enabling authority. All or any portion of the amount may be borrowed through the MWRA Local Water System Assistance Program, and in conjunction therewith, the mayor and treasurer are each authorized to enter into one or more loan and or security agreements with the MWRA, and the mayor is authorized to contract for and expend any federal, state, or other aid available for the project, including any grant related to such projects from the MWRA, and to take any other action necessary to carry out this project. Any premium received upon the sale of any bonds and notes approved by this vote, less any such premium applied. And paper 194-21, order that $4,447,000 is appropriated from available water sewer enterprise fund retained earnings to fund water infrastructure improvements.
Great job, Counselor. Lucy, you must have been the star of the school when you had to read in front of class.
Let me take a sip.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to get you one of those Camelbacks. You put the water back and you get the little tube, so you don't have to sip. Questions, comments, before I say Counsel Murphy's motion? Counsel Murphy?
Motion to refer to finance.
Okay, on Counsel Murphy's motion to refer to the matter to finance, seconded by Counsel DiMaria. Clerk will call the roll.
Kamel, yes.
Condon.
Condon, yes.
Grow.
Yes.
DiMaria.
Yes.
Linehan.
Linehan, yes.
Murphy.
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley.
O'Malley, yes.
Sika.
Sika, yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora,
Spatafora, yes. Matter is referred. Next order of business.
paper 195-21, order that the sum of $350,000 is appropriated from available general fund free cash into Human Resources Professional Services 0010-152-5300 for ongoing legal costs associated with labor relation matters.
Counselor Murphy.
Thank you, Councilor Spatafora. I'd like to request that we suspend docket rules to deal with this paper on the floor this evening. This, as you all know, has to do with the discussion we had last week in executive session.
Seconded.
So, motion to suspend docket rules.
Oh,
Okay.
Make
Okay.
it
Second.
Okay, hold on. So on Counselor Murphy's
Technically, it's
motion,
council rules. You want to suspend all the council rules. The docket rules only have to apply to putting things on the docket.
Okay, so motion to suspend council rules. Thank you, Councilor O'Malley, for the correction.
Second,
hold on a second. Hold on. Yep. I'm just thinking this in my head. Councilor Malley's correct. So on Counselor Murphy's motion to suspend council rules, seconded by Counselor DiMaria, clerk will call the roll.
Kamel,
no, yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crow,
Yes.
DeMaria,
DeMaria, yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
O'Malley, yes.
Sika,
Sika, yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora.
Out of 4, yes. Council rules are suspended.
Thank you. Obviously, we had a discussion last week in executive session. This is the result of the conversation that we had with the attorneys, et cetera, in that room. So I would make a motion that we pass this appropriation.
Seconded.
Okay. On Counselor Murphy's motion to refer this matter to fine.
No,
Oh,
no,
no, wait,
it's
wait,
passed.
I'm sorry. I know. Oh, no. On Counselor Murphy's motion to pass, seconded by Counselor O'Malley, clerk will call the roll.
Kamel,
No, yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crow,
Yes.
DeMaria,
DeMaria, yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
O'Malley, yes.
Sika,
Sika, yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora.
Spatafora, yes. That matter passes. Next order of business.
Paper 196-21, order that the city of Malden renew its mutual aid agreement for joint fire rescue and/or ambulance service when the current agreement expires on October 31st, 2021. The renewal agreement will be for the same 20-year term.
Okay, this is going to be referred to. This will be referred to public safety, but I do want to just let everybody know that that the Chief Murphy did reach out to me this afternoon and did ask if he thought his attendance was necessary. I told him it was only going to be referred, but just to give everybody some background, this is a mutual fund agreement, which I think everybody hopefully understands, but it's the association. We're in District 13. There's 34 fire departments, which include both Boston and Massport inside that district. We have to update this agreement every 20 years. So that's what this paper is for. Mutual aid, it recognizes the ability to mitigate the fact that no single community has the resources. I apologize, my daughter burnt her leg on the fireplace. Has the resources to significantly protect itself from disastrous events, fires, explosions, or multi-casualty incidents and other large-scale emergencies. So this establishment will allow the natural extension of this concept of mutual aid sharing and highly specialized resources. So this was something we referred to Councilor Winslow's Public Safety Committee. But this is something we just have to, I think, reassess every 20 years and then sign back up to it. But I just wanted to give you a little background because Chief Sullivan did reach out and wanted to make sure that everybody had sufficient information before referring. And he will be at the public safety meeting when Council Winslow does schedule that. So no other questions? Hopefully none, because I've topped out of my fire training safety course right there. And now on Councilor Winslow's motion to refer to public safety, seconded by.
Seconded.
Murphy.
Seconded by, I don't know who said second.
I did.
Murphy. Oh, well.
On Council Kamel, clerk will call the roll.
Kamel,
Kamel, yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crow,
Yes.
Di Maria,
Yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
Mel, yes.
Sika,
Sika, yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora.
Spatafora, yes. Clerk will do the next order of business.
197-21 resolved that effective immediately, all public meeting bodies should take measures to enhance access to public notices, meeting minutes, and media recordings of their respective meeting body. This should include ensuring that meeting notices clearly follow a standard when posting to the city website, making sure the same information is in the same format each meeting, ensuring that every effort is made to record meetings, and that when meetings have been recorded and are available over the internet, such as YouTube or Zoom recordings, that they are immediately updated on the city website under Agenda Center by providing the appropriate media link. Ensure that meeting minutes are posted to the city website under the Agenda Center as soon as practicable. And if approval of minutes is delayed, that the meeting body make an effort to publish draft minutes indicate as such.
So before I turn it over to, I believe that's Councilor Di Maria, I do want to apologize. I said Chief Murphy because we had one. It's Chief Sullivan. It's Chief Sullivan now. We did have a Chief Murphy, but it is Chief Sullivan. So I apologize, Chief Sullivan, for that mix-up. So Councilor Di Maria, you have the floor.
Thank you, Councilor Spatafora. And first and foremost, I know each one of us have been looking forward to some resolve like this, but this resolve was a true collaboration with our city clerk and our Director of Communications, Ron Cochran, who really penned most of this resolve. And I think it's something that's well overdue and something that the community is really looking forward to, a streamlining of transparency. So I'm not sure if Clerk Lucy wants to say something or if the Ron Cochran is on the call. Both knew that, well, of course, Greg knew, but Ron Cochran, I emailed him today. So I don't know if he's on the call, but I can certainly defer my time to them.
You want me to say something?
That would be great.
Yeah. Yeah, so just so everyone know, we started to put the Zoom links on the minutes for the council meeting. So, it's easy enough to do. So it's definitely a good step going forward. The Zoom link does wonders for me as clerk, because it's so hard to keep up with a lot of stuff that goes on here, that to go back and, really listen to the meeting a second time sometimes, even though sometimes they're long and painful, that, it definitely helps because you miss things as goes. And so we've already started to do that. And, the other items certainly, they should be done by all boards and commissions anyways.
Mm-hmm. And Councilor Spatafora, do you know if Mr. Cochran's on the call?
I don't see him. I was looking, Councilor Di Maria. I don't see him, but let me just go through real quick again. I don't see him as a panelist, and I don't think he'd be attendee, but I don't see Mr. Cochran on here.
Yeah. Well, he was very helpful in drafting the language for this resolve, and I do think it's a great start, and we should move forward with this. So I make a motion to accept this.
Okay, there are some hands, so I do want to give, so I believe I saw Councilor Linehan's hand, then Councilor O'Malley, then Councilor Winslow. Councilor Linehan, you have the floor.
Thank you, Councilor Spatafora. Oh, am I echoing?
Councilor Linehan has her DJ reverb acting up right now, so her side gig is she does birthday parties.
I think, Peg, can you mute yourself?
Oh, she might be on twice, yeah.
I had to be on twice. My computer was down. I didn't have my charge with me. So rough day. Sorry about that, Councilor Linehan.
No worries. I just wanted to speak in favor of this. I know Councilor DeMaria and I had a little bit of initial dialogue on this issue after hearing from some constituents. And she really took it and ran with it. And I want to commend her and Clerk Lucy and Ron Cochran. I think this is something that, you know, the public definitely is eager to see. And I will just say, as someone, you know, who's newer to chairing a committee this year, how I really started to realize that it would be easier to have these links is when I wanted to go prepare and watch the last few to understand kind of where things were left before I started to pick up and chair those new meetings in the new year. And, you know, Ron Cochran was amazing. He sent me all the links and the login codes that I needed to be able to do that, but it just seemed like a lot of work. And it would have been easier if things were kind of posted the way that our board and commission meetings are, with that little icon of the recording. You know, we have community members like Mr. Mayara who record things, and between searching our YouTube channel and looking for his posts on Facebook and then looking at our Zoom account, it's kind of all over the map. And I think if we can streamline this, it's going to be great for the public. It's definitely something that constituents ask me for a lot, and I'm fully supportive of this, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it move forward.
Thank you, Council Linehan. And even though that wasn't her reverb, she does do birthday parties on the side. So Councilor O'Malley next, and Councilor Winslow.
Thank you very much. I appreciate for the sponsor bringing this forward, and for the work of Clerk Lucy and Communication Director Cochran. I'm fully in support. The only thing I would ask is, you know, is there a way we can insert that Granicus also be updated? Because I mean, I personally find Granicus super helpful in terms of linking between the agendas and the videos. And, you know, we used to have all of our videos uploaded to Granicus. So I don't know if there's a way IT can help us automatically set up some type of feed so that's happening. But I agree with Councilor Linehan. You know, right now it appears a lot of our records are stored in various different places, and I know that's difficult for me to access it. I can only imagine what it's like to have to deal with it when you're getting a number of public records requests in the clerk's office. I know it's not easy, and I think that, you know, the more records we can put out there in the public, the less requests we'll get, because, you know, it's easier just to point someone to the repository and have them look it up themselves, rather than having you know, our staff spend their time to go through all of these crazy amount of records that we produce as a city. So I do appreciate it. Hoping there's a way we can also include Granicus. Thank you.
I'm talking on mute. It's Council Winslow. I apologize.
Yeah, no, I'm very much supportive of this. You know, I think we found in COVID that these, you know, the recordings and that type of thing are very important. I mean, I think we should also think about what we're going to do ultimately when we go back in person, and making sure that our meetings are accessible. You saw tonight, like the Disabilities Commission was able to participate very readily in commenting, and that's not always the case when I've dealt with disability commissions in the past. So I think this is a great resource, and make sure we have the recordings. And I think we should also go beyond, but I definitely will support this. I appreciate Councilor DeMaria and the clerk and Mr. Cochran for advancing this. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Winslow. Council DeMaria, you have your hand up. Is that from the initially, or you want to speak again? You're on mute, Council. You're still on mute, Council DeMaria.
Thank you. Yeah, so we certainly could amend this should my fellow colleagues want to move forward with an amendment, saying something, another bullet point to that, saying something like that, ensure our Granicus is updated for every meeting on our city site. So, you know, certainly I welcome an amendment for that. I also welcome co-sponsors. So I can make the amendment unless Councilor O'Malley, you want to make the amendment?
I'll second your amendment and I'll also join as a co-sponsor.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
And I'll raise you 20.
so I see some hands, Council DeMaria. Do you mind just waiting?
Yeah,
before you-
no,
okay.
that's fine, absolutely.
So Councilor Connor, you have your hand up, and then Councilor Linehan, your hand's still up. Is it from previous, or you want to speak again?
I have a follow-up
Okay,
question. Con.
so I'm going to go to Council Connor if you don't mind, and then I'll go to Council Linehan. Council Connor, you have the floor. You're on mute, Council Connor. You're still on mute, Council Condon. Council Condon, you are on mute.
I said I will support this, okay? But I have to say, I've never seen the city council so transparent as it is now. We've made tremendous strides in transparency. These meetings are watched by the public. They see what goes on. I just hope that that by continuing to improve the transparency, maybe it'll stop a few of these people from trying to bury certain department heads and paperwork. Mounds of paperwork that I would say the majority of it is useless. So that's what I got to say. And I'm particularly, I think people know who I'm talking to, you know, but we're going to continue to be as transparent as we can. But I'd like to see things improve so that maybe some of our people can do the job they were hired to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Condon. Council Linehan.
Thank you, Councilor Spatafora. I too would love to be added as a co-sponsor, and thank you for the opportunity. And I also forgot to mention before that I had heard from a constituent who saw this on the agenda, and I wanted to raise an issue that they brought to my attention, which I think fits within the language here, but just wanted to kind of articulate that. In the first bullet point where we say that we want to make the notices have a standard format, I want to just raise the issue that we want to make sure that that is an ADA accessible format, which is a very simple thing to do in Adobe as we make the PDF. I think we can follow up offline on how the mechanics of that take place, but it is something that as a public body, I think we probably should be doing anyway, but some members of our disability rights community have reached out to me in recent months to help educate me on how to make documents and images more accessible for people with low vision in particular that use screen readers. And I think it would be a one-time fix that we could make a document template that certainly all of our agendas could follow. And it would just be making sure it has a clear either table of contents or numbered hierarchy, or just there's probably very small tweaks that we could make so that screen readers could read our agendas. That way they'd be more ADA compliant. And I think that'd be a template that other boards and commissions could likely springboard off of that. So it would be time well invested. And I don't think it's a heavy lift to get that small change made. So I'm hoping that we can do that in that standard format.
Okay. Any other questions? I'll second Council Linehan's on the ADA compliant. I know it's something in my private sector work we're doing. It's also not just because of that. It's also most people use their phones or their tablets, and that compatibility is actually transferable now because of software to tablets and phones, just as important than normal computers. So it's something, if we're going to do it, we might as well do it right the first time. And it is software, so it's much easier than it was in the past. So on Council, I got to go back to Council DeMaria's. She is making. You're making a change, correct, Council DeMaria?
Yeah, it's an amendment
Yep.
to add another bullet that says in short, to ensure that we work with our IT department to add our Granicus, update our Granicus into this program, into this. And I think that was, I made the motion, Councilor O'Malley seconded it. And then the second amendment was made by Councilor Linehan regarding adding a template to give us some ADA visual aid screen readers. Is that right? And then that was seconded by Councilor Spatafora. So.
Okay, everybody got that, right? We're gonna do those two motions by Council DeMaria and seconded by Council O'Malley to make it simplistic, right?
Yep.
Clerk, you
Yep.
have that just to make sure?
I
just
do.
want to make sure the clerk has it. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So on Council, so the two motions, I'm not going to read it because I didn't write it all down. So on Council DeMaria's first motion to amend the paper to include Granicus. I'm being simplified. Not
Correct.
for the, not to oversimplify it, but to be simple so we can get through this. To add Granicus, seconded by Council O'Malley. Clerk, we're gonna do one roll call, right? We'll do
Yeah,
one roll
that's
call?
fine.
Okay. The second amendment is going to be on, again, Councilor DiMaria, which is to make it ADA compliant using Adobe, using software to make it visually, make it available to the visually impaired. Is that correct, Councilman Linehan?
Yeah,
I
it was
think we should just
Council.
say to utilize an ADA compliant format for the
Okay.
template.
Thank you. Using an
And
ADA.
that was made by Councilor Linehan, not myself.
Okay. Then we're going to have to do probably 2 separate votes then, right? Because if right?
We
Yeah,
can.
So let's do 2 separate. So Council DiMaria has the first one, which is amended to add Granicus, second by Council O'Malley. Clerk will call the roll.
Mal,
Oh, yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crow,
Yes.
DiMaria,
DiMaria, yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
O'Malley, yes.
Sika,
Sika, yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora.
Spatafora, yes. Okay, on Councilor Linehan's motion now, motion to amend, adding ADA visual software, right? Compatible. Seconded by myself, Councilor Spatafora. Clerk will call the roll.
Mal,
Oh, yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crow,
Yes.
DiMaria,
DiMaria, yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
O'Malley, yes.
Sika,
Sika, yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora.
Spatafora, yes. Motion carries. Both pass. Next order of business.
Paper
Councilor,
19
do we have to make a motion to,
Oh, the whole thing. That's
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
Councilor. Bieber. Thank you.
Yeah.
See, getting the cobwebs out. Thank you, councils, for your patience.
Second, Council DiMaria's motion to approve as
As
amended.
amended, yep. On Council
Correct.
DiMaria's motion to approve as amended, seconded by Council O'Malley. Clerk will call the roll.
Mal,
Oh, yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crow,
Yes.
DiMaria,
DiMaria, yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
O'Malley, yes.
Sika,
Sika, yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora.
Spatafora, yes. Now it carries.
Thank you.
Yep. Next order of business. Clerk will read paper
One-
one. Yep, go ahead, Council. Clerk.
Paper 198-21, resolved that the Malden City Council President appoint a city council representative to the Mayor's Sustainable and Equitable Transportation Task Force that will be overseeing community outreach and overseeing the development of transit action plan for Malden, funded by a grant from the Massachusetts Gaming Commission.
So, Council Winslow, before I turn this over to you, I don't mean to be, I don't want to take this route. Did you talk to the president, President Anderson, before you put this on? I don't want to pretend.
I mean, I CC'd him or whatever, I
Okay,
guess. Yeah, I
that's fine,
didn't
as long
speak
as
to
he
him
knows.
directly, but
I don't
yeah,
want to.
yeah, no,
Okay, that's fine.
no,
You don't-
yeah, just for background, I've been in speaking with Evan Spatrini from Malden Redevelopment Authority and Debbie Burke. Probably almost a year ago, the MRA on behalf of the city applied to the Gaming Commission for a transit action plan grant. The hope was that we would have a transportation plan to oversee implementing that. It got delayed, so the MRA did start working to implement that grant. And what we realized is that just as we saw with the Winter Shared Streets grant related to Center Street, people and this council expects a robust community engagement thing. I mean, ideally, we would have done the transaction plan before we tackled that, but we want to make sure we have a robust community group. I think, and talking with the mayor's office, one of the things we realized there was a very good task force put together when the city was pursuing the Complete Streets program. And so the thought is we should really model some sort of task force similar to that. So we have some robust community engagement and then help prioritize projects based on that community engagement. So the mayor's planning to set that up, and I put this paper in so that to make sure we, have the council president and make the council aware that the council will be involved. I do anticipate working with the mayor's office to, solicit the involvement of at least 3 community members. And then I guess I know the city engineer, I think the city planner, and several other department heads were involved in the Complete Streets task force. I think Councilor Crowe or Councilor Murphy might have been as well. So the plan is to establish that similar task force, and just to make sure we have one appointee to that's specifically for the council. So that's the purpose of the paper, just to get it rolling. And there will be a request for proposals going out shortly from the MRA to hire a consultant to do this work. And like I say, I've been insisting that we have a strong committee process for that. So this is part of that. And this committee will help oversee that, just as happened with the Complete Streets plan. And I think, don't know if you remember, we came up, I guess that committee came up with a list of about 21 possible Complete Streets projects, and then help prioritize them. And we've been very successful in implementing those. And I think it's gone relatively smoothly. So want to, have that process out there. So great. Any questions?
Thank you, Councilor Winslow. I do see a hand. Is that Councilor Condon?
No.
Okay, you still have your hand up. Any questions for Councilor Winslow? Okay. So on Councilor Winslow's motion to pass the resolve.
Seconded.
Okay, there is a second. I was going to ask that. So Councilor Winslow's motion to pass resolve, seconded by Councilor O'Malley. Clerk will call the roll.
Kamel,
Kamel, yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crowe,
Yes.
DiMaria,
DiMaria, yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
Yes.
Sika,
Sika, yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora.
Spatafora, yes. The resolve has passed. Next order of business.
Paper 199-21 resolved that it's the sense of the city council that the body supports the community project funding application submitted by the office of Senator Jason Lewis on behalf of Malden, Melrose, and Wakefield to obtain federal funding for the design and construction of a regional trail network, including the Spot Pond Greenway south of Clifton Street to the Malden River.
For the paper, Councilor O'Malley.
Thank you. So this paper and the next are actually related, not in terms of thematically, but they're the same funding source. So the city of Malden has applied for a federal grant to help with the design. Actually, it's no longer construction, for a portion of the Spot Pond Brook Greenway south of Clifton Street. We've previously applied for a $300,000 grant from the Mass Trails team, and this is looking to get the second part of the grant in order for us to conduct another set of community engagement meetings as part of the design to get to the design documents for this. This will involve, like I said, more community engagement, more engagement with the city council, as well as abutting property owners, and it's the step needed to take to really kind of flush out a lot of the design questions that the community and that we had as we conducted the feasibility with Shadley. The second paper is a paper that will be in support of a grant application that's been submitted by the city of Malden on behalf of the Mayor Gary Christensen, and it looks to secure federal funds for aggressive replacement of both public and private lead service lines in our community. If there are any questions, I'm here. I would move to adopt or pass the resolve on 19921.
Okay, questions? I do see some hands. I believe it's Council Winslow at his hand raised. Council Winslow.
Yeah, I just would like to be added as a co-sponsor of this. I know I had some involvement with Senator Lewis's office on this, as well as I just know it's a regional effort to, really extend a regional trail network throughout the Senator's District all the way up to like Wakefield and other places, and really connect trails that are happening up in Wakefield and Linfield into our trails, and Spot Pond Brook would be an essential part of that. I've also raised the thought of making sure the Willow Street Greenways part it and consider that part. So I think we've been working very well with Senator Lewis's office, and really hope to have an exciting interconnected trail system that Spot Pond Brook will be a key spine for. Thank you. So.
Thank you, Councilor Winslow. Councilor Linehan.
Thank you, Councilor Spatafora. I too have been lucky enough to be taking part in some of these discussions. It's a very exciting effort to build a regional trail network. Senator Lewis's office has been doing a great job coordinating. Those are definitely open to anybody who would like to be part of it. There is really a regional vision to interconnect a lot of the town by town projects. And I think anytime we can come together on something regional, it benefits not just our own wards and city, but those coming in and out of it and commuting through. And I think it also puts us in a really good position to be able to leverage future additional funding and different kinds of grants. So definitely supportive of this, and would also like to be added as a co-sponsor.
Okay, make sure the clerk gets that. Any other, Councilor DiMaria's hands up. Councilor DiMaria.
Yeah, thank you, Councilor Spatafora. First off, I too would like to be added to this, both of these resolves, if we're doing them together. What comes to mind is teamwork, collaborative, connectivity. That's our goals here. That's what we need to do. And if it's coming from the push from a state senator's office, certainly, why would we not want to join this resolve? I think it's great. And I don't know, are we taking them together? We're voting on these together?
No, we have to do them separate.
Oh, okay,
Separate
so those are my comments for 199.21. And again, I'd love to be added as a co-sponsor. Thank you.
Okay, Councilor Linehan, is your hand up again, or just, okay, that's fine. Easier. Anybody, let me just make sure I see all the councils here. Anybody else? Okay, nobody else. So on Councilor O'Malley, seconded by, I believe, Councilor Winslow. Am I right? Clerk will call the roll.
Kamal,
Oh, yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crow,
Yes.
DiMaria,
DiMaria, yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
Melly, yes.
Luca,
Stuckey, yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora.
Spatafora, yes. Resolve passes. Next order of business.
Paper 200-21 resolved that it is the sense of the city council that the body supports the effort of Mayor Gary Christensen to secure federal funds to assist the city of Malden in the aggressive replacement of both public and private lead service lines in our community.
Councilor O'Malley for the paper.
Thank you. Again, as I just kind of briefly explained, looking for co-sponsors to sign on to this. We are applying to Congresswoman Clark's office in order to try to secure these federal funds. It's a unique opportunity for us at this point. It's kind of unheard of over the last 15 years. So I think we are well positioned to get some of these federal funds into our community. Anything that we can do to try to get some federal funds will allow us to save our own tax dollars. So looking to pass this tonight without stifling debate.
Second.
Okay, I do see some hands. I'm going to go to Councilor Murphy first, and then Councilor Winslow.
Thank
Councilor
you.
Murphy, go ahead.
Thank you, Councilor Spatafora. Yes, I would like to be added as this co-sponsor for this paper, please.
Okay, short and simple. Councilor Winslow, you're next.
Yeah, no, I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor. I know I'm very excited to hear some of the discussions of President Biden's infrastructure bill, that it would include 100% funding to remove lead pipes. So I think giving this support will, our Congresswoman is obviously as assistant speaker is very influential. So to make sure that she's always going to fight for her district, and I think this is an important initiative. And I know I've always said, if we go at the pace we're going, it's good we're making progress, but it could be another 15 years before we address all those lead pipes. This could let us do it in a much shorter period. So happy to co-sponsor and hoping this will become part of that infrastructure bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Winslow. Councilor Condon, then I'll go to Councilor Linehan.
Thank you, Acting Council President. I'm sure Council O'Malley's right on top of it, and but I'd certainly like to co-sponsor it, and I hope everyone does, because we've been fighting for these lead lines for years, and we got to still catch up to what we're supposed to be doing, even though everybody's doing a great job right now. But we certainly can use these federal funds. So good job, Councilor.
Next is Councilor Linehan.
Thank you, Councilor Spatafor. I would also like to be added as a co-sponsor. I'm very supportive of this. I think this is something that, we all hear about a lot from constituents, and this could be a game changer if we're able to put some federal money to this. I was also, like Councilor Winslow, really enthusiastic in seeing this from the administration coming down federally as an acceptable use of some of this money, the infrastructure dollars that we're set to get. I think, a city like Malden, where we know that we've been suffering with a higher than typical number of lead lines, and then thinking about how many families with young children have been stuck at home 24 hours a day for the last year due to the pandemic, it honestly frightens me thinking about some of the exposure that could have been accruing. So I think something like this that will let us take care of things, and ideally in one fell swoop, and potentially to take care of both the public and the private side to really make sure that 100% of that risk is eliminated, is something that I'd be happy to support. So thank you for bringing it to us, Councilor O'Malley.
Thank you, Councilor Linehan. Next, I see Councilor Winslow. You're on mute, Councilor Winslow.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. I mean, I certainly want to be added as co-sponsor. I think I had already spoken. So yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Councilor Winslow. Councilor
Sorry.
Hold on. So many hands here. Councilor, I believe it was Councilor Crowe next. Councilor Crowe.
Thank you, Councilor Spatafor. I agree with everybody else. This is an important initiative that we've all agreed that really is a priority. So I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor, and finally we can see a way that we can really move this forward. So I appreciate it.
Thank you, Councilor Crowe. Councilor DiMaria's hands up.
Thank you, Councilor Spatafor. I too would like to be added as a co-sponsor. First, I commend the mayor's office for partnering with Congresswoman Clark on this and applying for these funds. I think it's wonderful, but I also would like to say thank you to our department in the city that has met and exceeded the goals that has been set by the Department of Environmental Protection, DEP, for these lead lines. So I know we've done the best we can, but I think this is really going to make us super, super successful and safe for our community. So thank you to Councilor O'Malley for bringing this to the floor. Thank you.
Councilor Kamel, I believe you are the last one. Oh, and Councilor Seek as well. So Councilor Kamel?
Co-sponsors all around. So
Okay.
add me on there, please, as a co-sponsor. Once again, kudos to Councilor O'Malley. I'm always impressed by your and hardworking and looking for these opportunities and staying on top of things. So thank you again.
All right, Councilor Sika.
Thank you, Councilor Spatafor. I too would like to be added as a co-sponsor, please.
Thank you, Councilor Sika.
Thank you.
And before I want to be added, Councilor O'Malley, unless you want to speak again.
I just wanted to say that I don't want to take credit for anything. That this was all Mayor Gary Christensen and Marie Louise, and I just put the resolve on the docket. So credit where credit's due.
Fair enough. Thank you. So, Councilor O'Malley,
Never mind then. So good job, Gary.
Councilor O'Malley, do you know, is this money part of the $1.9 million? Not that it matters. I want to co-sponsor too, so let the clerk know that. But is this money part of the $1.9 million CARES Act, or is this additional money that might be coming for both projects, or is this coming out of potentially the infrastructure bill?
My understanding is that this is a process that's going to open us up to a number of potential funding sources, whether that's the American Recovery Act, I believe that's being passed, or an infrastructure bill. But this is kind of the process to funnel these requests and get these projects on like the bat up at bat. And so when things are passed, they can kind of pull this from the shelf and say, hey, this fits what we're looking for here.
No, I was only asking because, as I'm sure you know, that out of the $1.2 billion CARES Act, that we had the ability to use it for the city's money we could use to do lead line replacement. To me, this is a twofer, meaning if we can use federal money that's identified for these pipes, we can use that other money inside the city's coffers to do other things that we need to do. So I think it's a great idea. You know, like everybody, like they say in the banking world, use other people's money, and that's exactly what we plan to do here. Besides just increasing the infrastructure, you know, health is important with the safety of our water. And while we've been doing yeoman's work to catch up, as Councilor Winslow has always said, it will take years to get to that number. So this really speeds that up and gets a lot of work done in a short amount of time. So please add me to this resolve. With nothing else to say, on Councilor O'Malley's motion to pass, seconded by
Councilor Di Maria.
Oh, I'm sorry, on Councilor O'Malley's motion to pass, seconded by Councilor Di Maria. Clerk will call the roll.
Kamel.
Yes.
Condon.
Condon, yes.
Crow.
Yes.
Di Maria.
Yes.
Linehan.
Linehan, yes.
Murphy.
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley.
O'Malley, yes.
Sika.
Sika, yes.
Winslow.
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora.
Spatafora, yes. That resolve passes. Next order of business.
Paper 122-21 order be it hereby ordained that the revised ordinances of 2020 be amended by updating section 2.24.050 of the police superior officer's salary schedule per attached.
Should I read this on Council Spatafora's motion to ordain the ordinance as amended? Does anybody want me to speak? I'm reading from the script. I apologize. It's tough to put my name in there as the chair. Go ahead, Council O'Malley. You want to say something? Oh, so everybody's got their hand up. That's why. This ordinance is reflective of the patrolman's, the supervisor, excuse me, police officers, superior officers. This reflects the raise that's been negotiated through a collective bargain agreement. And this ordinance just matches the financial implications which have been run through finance already. And this just allows us to pay that new salary to the superior's offices.
Motion to ordain.
Perfect.
Second.
On Councilor Crowe, any discussion? Okay, on Councilor Crow's motion to ordain, seconded by Councilor Condon. Clerk will call the roll.
Kamel.
Yes.
Condon.
Condon, yes.
Crow.
Yes.
Di Maria.
Di Maria, yes.
Linehan.
Linehan, yes.
Murphy.
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley.
Yes.
Sika.
Sika, yes.
Winslow.
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora.
Spatafora, yes. Ordinance is ordained. Next order of business.
Paper 201-21 committee report, finance, paper 143-21 order that the city of Malden file with the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development a consolidated plan, including applications for grants under the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended, and the Cranston-Gonzalez Housing Act of 1990 as amended, to be administered by the MRA for fiscal year 2022, including all understanding and assurances contained therein on or substantially in the form presented to this meeting, and that Gary Christensen, Mayor and Chief Executive Officer of the City of Malden, be and hereby is directed and designated as the authorized representative for and in the name and behalf of the City of Malden to sign and file said plan, to act in connection with the said plan, and to provide such additional information as may be required.
On Council Murphy's motion to receive the committee report, clerk will call the roll.
Kamel.
Smell, yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crow,
Yes.
DeMaria,
Yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
Yes.
Tika,
Tika, yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora.
Spatafora, yes.
Council Spatafora.
Counselor Crowe.
I would like to actually recuse myself since I am a paid employee of one of the organizations mentioned in the appropriation.
Council, Acting President, if I may.
Go ahead, Council Murphy.
So I was planning on handling this the same way that we had handled it in the Finance Committee and separate it into program 1, 3, 4, and 5 for the entire council to vote on. And then I was going to have you recuse yourself for program 2, which is the public services section. I mean, if you prefer to be recused from all of it, that's fine. But my intent was to follow the same process we followed in finance.
No, thank you, Council Murphy. That would be great. So follow that process.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. There has been first of all, Alex.
Councilor Murphy for the committee.
Thank you very much, Councilor Spatafora, Acting President Spatafora. I do want you all to know, I believe that mostly everyone attended the Finance Committee meeting where this paper was discussed and voted out unanimously to be brought before the City Council. We have had a change since then. Alex Pratt is here with us and he can explain it in more detail if anyone has any wants to drill down any further. But the Salvation Army has withdrawn their request for their $5,000 application, their application for $5,000. Okay. The mayor has suggested that we move that money to the warming center. So that is a request that has come down from the mayor's office. So that is the major change in what we have reviewed, what we previously reviewed in the Finance Committee meeting. Mr. Acting President, if you wouldn't mind, I would like Mr. Pratt, through you, to just give the council an update on what happened with the Salvation Army, if you don't mind.
Sure. If you just give me one second. Is Mr. Pratt?
He's here.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Pratt. Okay, perfect. You're already there, ready to go, and you got your camera on. Mr. Pratt, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. So as Councilor Murphy said, it's just one small change to the public services portion of the budget. The Salvation Army let us know last week that they would not be running their program this year. They're making some broader regional changes. And so because they won't be running their standard direct utility assistance program, we thought, and the mayor thought, it was a great idea to program those funds towards the Malden Warming Center. Obviously, the Malden Warming Center is a great program in Malden. This is the first year they are getting funds under the CDBG program. And we really, when we were putting the budget together, they had requested $22,400. And you can see that we were able to budget them, to allocate for them $11,005. We really would like to bring that up to show a more significant level of support to 16.5. And now that the Salvation Army is moving out, it seemed like a good use. It also seems like to us in the same category of need. Obviously, different levels of assistance and a different population, but it's all about housing stability, whether it's the Salvation Army doing utility assistance or the Malden Warming Center, obviously providing a place for folks to stay. And the Malden Warming Center costs that can cover stipends for volunteers, especially for that late night shift. I think it's from like 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. that they've had a lot of difficulty filling. And those costs can also cover the electricity costs, just those associated with the warming center, not for the church's operations.
Any questions from Mr. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say thank you, Mr. I was going to say if anyone has any questions. There is a hand raised. I see Councilor Condon.
Yeah, I don't know if it was
Oh,
okay. Councilor.
no.
Yeah.
I gotta lower my hand.
Any questions for Mr. Pratt? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Pratt. Councilor Murphy, you have the floor.
Unless anyone has any other questions on the entire program, I would suggest that we go through. I do see a hand raised. Councilor Winslow.
Yep.
Oh, just go ahead, Councilor Murphy. I was going to raise my hand once you're done talking. So.
Okay, I would suggest that, we go through and, as I had said, we approve programs 1, which is the affordable housing, program 3, physical improvements, 4, planning, administration and management, and 5, the section 108 loans. And then we let Councilor, once that vote is taken, we vote to recuse Councilor Crowe, and then we vote on program number 2, which is public services.
So I have a question, Council Murphy, and maybe Mr. Prackett. Do we have to amend it because you're moving money, or are we just voting on the total?
Yes.
We'll have to amend it.
We would
Okay.
hopefully look for a motion to
Okay.
amend.
I
on
just
the
want to make
public
sure I get my
services
ducks
side.
in a row, which makes sense. Okay. So Councilor Winslow, are you going to make a motion? I just want to make sure we.
Well, a couple of things.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to second Councilor Murphy's motion to amend by shifting the $5,000 from Salvation Army to the warming center. So I'll make that second that motion. And then I just also wanted to say, I know Councilor DiMaria and I mentioned at the Finance Committee meeting, we were looking for information about the Linden Community Rink and the status of the feasibility study. And, we just haven't heard anything specific about that study. And there is money this council dedicated towards that study, and we haven't heard what's going on. So I guess I'd like to say, after we've dealt with this motion, I'm supportive of proceeding with the vote on this, including the rink. But I'd like to say that I'd like to introduce another motion afterwards to get the sense of the council that we seek out that, we'd like to see that feasibility study, as soon as possible. So that's all I wanted to say, but I am supportive of going ahead. But I just want to say that after we make the vote, I'd like to make that motion as well. So thank you.
Okay. So there's a couple things going on. Mr. Pratt, did you have your hand up? I don't want to stifle conversation. Did you have your hand up?
Yeah, yes, Council. I just wanted
Go
to
ahead.
respond to that
Yep.
if I could.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the feasibility study commenced about 2 weeks ago. It's being paid for out of mitigation funds, not from the CPC funds. And when that is completed, we will provide a copy of that completed report to you all.
Okay. So there's a couple things. Let's take these in order. So Councilor Murphy, you have a motion on the floor to amend, and that is to amend $5,000 coming from the Salvation Army line item going to the Malden Center, the Malden Warming Center, which was seconded by Councilor DiMaria. You have your hand up. Do you want to speak now, or do you want to wait?
I can hold off. Yep.
Okay.
I do have a question for Alex when we get to that point. Yep.
All right. So let me just start over. Councilor Murphy's motion to amend the paper to move $5,000 from the Salvation Army line item to the Malden Warming Center, seconded by Councilor Winslow. Clerk will call the roll.
Kamel, yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crow,
Yes.
DiMaria,
Yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
Yes.
Sika,
Sika, yes.
Winslow,
So yes.
Spatafora.
Spatafora, yes. So that is amended. Councilor Murphy, and then I'll go to Councilor DiMaria. Councilor Murphy, do you have anything, or do you want to just?
I think we should hear what Councilor
Okay.
DiMaria has to say.
I just didn't know if you had another motion. So Councilor DiMaria, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you. And just one last question. And first, let me preface, I do support the Linden Community Rink. So let me just start there. But in the construction of this, Alex, I know that we've stated that it will be on the footprint of what is there now. But what abuts that is a basketball court or a half court. Is that going to be remain intact? Or, for those that like basketball as well. So I just wondered if you might be able to answer that.
Yes, Counselor, the plan currently is to just have the current footprint. Everything around it will remain the same.
Perfect.
There's no plan for that to change, and the basketball court should not be disturbed.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you, Alex. Thank you.
Okay, all set, Council DiMaria?
Yep, thank you.
Okay, the floor is yours, Council Murphy.
I'm just going to say, Councilor Winslow, are you all set with the response that you received from Mr. Pratt that the feasibility study is in process, and as soon as it's completed, it will be sent to all of the councilors for their review?
Yeah, I'm fine with that representation. I don't need to make a motion on that. I think we can trust that and the project proponents to do that in good faith. So yeah, I'm fine with that.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay,
So
1 second, Councilor. I'm sorry, Councilor. So Councilor Seeker, you have your hand up. I'm sure it's related to this, so that's why I wanted to let you speak now.
Thank you, Councilor Spatafora. I just wanted to, once again state that we're not looking to redo the whole Linden Park. We're just looking to update the existing rink that's already there, and we're looking to freeze it for the winter months. That's basically the project in a nutshell. It seems like it's been rushed because it kind of has, because we've never been eligible for this type of grant. For the last 8 years of me being a counselor, this is the first year that Linden Park has actually qualified for the CDBG money. So, I spoke to Alex earlier today. If for some reason this feasibility study comes back and it's an outrageous price, we're not tied into this project. I paid for the feasibility study. As soon as I heard that the application for this grant was going to be approved, I called up the controller to see if I could use the mitigation money to get the ball rolling, because we had a little hiccup with the CPC funding of the feasibility study from the fall, something about the address and the wrong thing. So we were going to have to resubmit it. So I did try to get it done as quickly as possible, but unfortunately the feasibility study is not back yet. It's probably not going to be back for another week or two. As soon as we get it back, I will absolutely share it with everybody. I think that it would, I would hate to see people not support this project this evening and us have a chance of losing the 200,000 towards this project. So I would appreciate everybody's support. And if anybody has any questions, they're more than welcome to reach out to me, on my phone, whatever, question it is that you have. I'll be more than happy to answer this question. Again, we are not changing the footprint of Linden Park. It's going to look exactly like it is today. It's just going to be updated with new boards, a new surface. There might be some seating off. If you're looking from the park off to the left, there's a grass patch. There may be some benches. The basketball court is not going to be touched or affected by this project in any way, shape, or form. So if anybody else has any questions, please feel free to ask. But again, this is just for us to be able to turn the street hockey rink into an ice skating rink, similar to what is at Market Street in Linfield right now, just to get these kids outside, during the winter months, to be able to get, some good old fashioned fun in Malden without worrying about falling through Fellsmere Pond. So thank you.
Councilor Khan, you have your hand up? Is it related?
Yes.
Okay, Councilor Khan.
I'd just like to say that, I support this very strongly, and it's a pleasure to see a council like Councilor Seeker. It's always about the kids with her, whether it's the kids graduating, going around the different parts of the city dressed up as an Easter bunny, or some of the characters that we see. So, Council, people from your ward are very lucky, and I know you have Edgeworth roots for sure. And the way you do your job, it's just an honor to serve with you, and I hope the people down in Linden appreciate you. Thank you.
Councilor O'Malley. Right.
I also wanted to just express my support for this project. We talked about the fact that there is a need for a safe place to skate in Malden and not necessarily utilize ponds, which could be dangerous, particularly as our climate is becoming more and more frantic in up and down temperatures. So, while we don't always see eye to eye, I think it is good to see these types of projects happen in the wards. And I'm fully in support of Councillor Sika's motion to include this project. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't see any of the hands, even though Council Seeker and Council Condon have the hands up, but I think it's just extra.
Oh,
Listen,
sorry.
I'm trying to run a
Acting-
tight ship here. That's what Councilor Anderson does. He makes sure everybody takes
Sorry,
their hand down.
acting council
He sent me a
president.
text. Make sure their hands come down. And if I just could from the floor, I just think, regardless of, I think the getting ice there, besides all the things that was said, safety and the ability to get kids out in fresh air, it's really having the option to have something like this in the city of Malden. We don't have anything like that. The other thing is, ice is expensive, and that's one of the challenges I think a lot of the communities. When I was a kid, Malden and Medford had multiple teams, and unfortunately now it's tough to get teams together because diversity is part of it, but so is the cost. And the ice time is very expensive. I think just giving the kids the ability to skate, whether it's hockey or figure skating, is something that all kids, regardless of their income level or where they live, should have the ability to do so. The final piece is, I think Councilor O'Malley said it, he mentioned in his last one, this is federal money, this is federal money that we get to do improvements in parts of the city that are allowed to get that money. And, living in Ward 3, there's only a small portion, and Council Linehan is trying to get that money and squeeze as much money out. And I think every council who's upgrading their parks and using this funds, again, it's federal money, and we should take every dollar and invest it in the community. And whether that's in a swing set, or whether that's in giving to the warming center, or whether it's to ice, I think it's imperative we do so. So I happily support this endeavor and all the other ones, because it's important to really invest in the community. So with that being said, I will turn it over to Councilor Murphy.
Thank you. And I will obviously am very much in support of this. I think, one of the wonderful things we see in the city of Malden is that, each park kind of has its own type of activity. If you look at, I believe it was CBDG money that paid for the splash pad down at Lincoln Common. The other nice thing about this, we keep talking about the ice, but I think the fact that we're redoing that hockey rink for just, street hockey. I have one, it actually predates Councilor Seeker, one of the original shirts from Home for the Holidays down there. And that's, it's a great event to see folks come back and, every year and play on that surface, and to give them a level surface now to be able to have, street hockey games, to rollerblade. It's wonderful. We have skate parks, bike trails. I mean, we really have come such a long way in 10 years that this is just another step forward, and I'm happy to support it. Having said that, what I would like to do is, I said, the budget, if you look at it, the CBDG budget is broken into 5 parts. I would like to make a motion that we approve Program 1, Affordable Housing, Program 3, Physical Improvements, 4, Planning, Administration, and Management, and 5, Section 108, Loan Repayments.
Second.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because Councilor Murphy was speaking so fast for me, I couldn't write it down. So Clerk, do you have that broken up?
Yes.
So
Yep.
can you just give me the numbers again so I can repeat them?
1,
Yep.
3, 4, and 5.
Okay. So on Councilor Murphy's motion to approve Program 1, 3, 4, and 5, seconded by, was it Council Crowe?
Oh,
Yeah. Yes.
Seconded by Council Crowe. Clerk will call the roll.
Kamel,
Well, yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crow,
Yes.
DeMaria,
Yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
Yes.
Seeker,
Sika, yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora,
Spatafora, yes.
Councilor Crowe?
Yes, Council Spatafora, I'd like to make a motion to recuse myself from the section 2 of the CDBG budget.
Seconded.
Okay, so on Councilor Crowe's motion to excuse herself from the vote, seconded by Councilor O'Malley, clerk will call the roll.
Kamel,
Oh, yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crow,
Yes.
DeMaria,
Yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
O'Malley, yes.
Sika,
Sika, yes.
Winslow,
So yes.
Spatafora.
Spatafora, yes. Council Crowe is excused.
Motion to approve section 2 of the CBDG budget, public services.
Seconded.
On Councilor Murphy's motion to approve section 2 of the Community Block Development Grant, seconded by Councilor O'Malley. No questions, no hands.
Councilor Spatafora, do we have to say in this vote as amended? Because that's where we amended.
Is that where this, is this where?
Yeah,
good-
that-
good-
that
good
was-
catch.
As amended.
Yep,
Yeah,
as
as
amended. Thank
amended.
you, Council DiMaria. I didn't know which one it was. So on, thank you. On Council, I'm gonna read it again. Council Murphy's motion to approve as amended, which is just to remind the public, it's the 5,000 from the Salvation Army going to the warming center. Seconded by Councilor O'Malley. Clerk will call the roll.
Kamel,
Oh, yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
DiMaria,
Yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
Yes.
Sika,
Sika, yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora.
Spatafora, yes. That motion has been granted. Next order of business.
Paper 202-21, Committee Report Finance Order, Paper 170-21, that the appropriation enumerated below being in the amount of $100,000 be appropriated from the Community Preservation Act Fund for the following project. Fellsmere Park Master Plan, $100,000 from budgeted reserve. Account total appropriation is $100,000.
Murphy for the paper.
Motion to receive the committee report.
On Councilor Murphy's motion to receive the committee report, clerk will call the roll.
Kamel,
Oh, yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crowe,
Yes.
DiMaria,
Yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
Yes.
Sika,
Sika, yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora.
Spatafora, yes. Committee report is received. Council Murphy for the committee.
Thank you, Acting President Spatafora. I believe most of you were also at this meeting, a Finance Committee meeting, and heard the deliberation and discussion taking place there. But for the general public, what I'd like them to know is this $100,000 has been approved by the Community Preservation Committee. And once they approve a project, it then must come to the City Council for the City Council to approve it and actually move the money into the fund so that it can be paid. So we have, it is now sitting before us for our approval. It's a great project. It will make some upgrades. It will do the master plan to the Fellsmere Pond. And I also believe this is where the crosswalk from the Pleasant Street elderly building will be funded out of this pot of money to go across to, no, well, I'm getting a no, I thought it was.
That's additional, that's CDBG.
Oh, that's in CBDG. I'm sorry, terribly sorry. So this is just for the master plan.
Correct.
So just for the master plan for your design. So I don't know if there's any questions. Anyone had any questions since we've had the Finance Committee meeting? If not, I would make a motion to approve the $100,000.
On Councilor Murphy's motion to adopt,
Second.
Second.
who said second? Councilor Linehan? Yep, okay. So on Councilor Murphy's motion to adopt, seconded by Councilor Linehan, the clerk will call the roll.
Kamel,
Oh, yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crowe,
Yes.
DiMaria,
DiMaria, yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
Yes.
Sika,
Sika, yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora.
Spatafora, yes. That order is adopted. Next order of business.
Council President, there's all these licenses. You want me to take them in as they're grouped together or?
So there are
Yes.
there are probably, I didn't count them, but there's a large amount of licenses which are gonna be, committee report received, which are gonna be hopefully, I believe, coming out of, can we group them together? Any thoughts, any objections?
I
Okay,
have no
seeing-
problem with that, Council President.
Okay, seeing none, and hearing none from the committee, Clerk Lucy, group them together.
So we got to receive the committee report first.
Motion to receive the committee report?
Yep, so on Council O'Connor's motion to receive the committee report, clerk will call the roll.
Kamel,
Oh, yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crow,
Yes.
Di Maria. Di Maria,
She stepped away.
okay, Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
Yes.
Sika,
Sika, yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora.
Spatafora, yes. Committee report is received. Council O'Connor for the committee.
Council President, I'd just like to say after we read all these licenses, if any of the ward councilors want to discuss or have some problems with any of them, at the end of it, certainly I'll give you an opportunity to speak.
Can I just jump in real quick, Council Condon?
Sure.
So Clerk Lucy, I believe on our prep call today, wasn't there paper, is it A&M table? Wasn't that going to be tabled?
Well, 162-21 was tabled in committee, so we won't take that up tonight. That's still tabled in committee.
Okay, you're not going to read it, right?
No,
No.
I'm not.
All right, just for everybody's benefit, it was tabled in committee and it shouldn't be on this list. So the clerk will not read that, just so everybody doesn't think we're skipping it, we're doing it. It was a mistake. They caught it, they let me know, just as an FYI, everybody, okay? Sorry to interrupt you, Council Condon. I just want to make
Thank
sure
you,
that.
Council
Yep,
President.
Yep, go ahead, Council Condon.
So we had our compliance people really do a great job checking all these licenses out. And they added some great input on the licenses, and these licenses passed unanimously from the license committee. So I would make a motion that we grant them. That clerk still has to read them.
Yeah, I believe the clerk would have to read them. Clerk,
Yeah.
you want to read them?
Yeah, sure. So it's paper 203-21, paper 118-21, class 2, Joe Champa Auto Body Inc., 322 Eastern Ave, 4 cars, it's a renewal. Paper 156-21, Lodging House, Metro North Housing Corp., 115 Washington Street, it's a renewal. Paper 157-21, Lodging House, Metro North Housing Corp., 22 Charles Street, it's a renewal. Paper 158-21, Lodging House, Cedar House LLC, 116-118 Cedar Street, it's a renewal. Paper 159-21, Lodging House, BREC LHP LLC, 155 Clifton Street, it's a renewal. 160-21, Outdoor Parking, Spatafora Trust, 35 Canal Street, 10 spaces, it's a renewal. Paper 161-21, Outdoor Parking, TJ Automotive, 315 Pleasant Street, 20 spaces, it's a renewal. Paper 163-21, Pawnbroker, Art Carl Jewelers, 56 Pleasant Street, it's a renewal. Paper 164-21, Secondhand Dealer, Art Carl Jewelers, 56 Pleasant Street, it's a renewal. Paper 165-21, Pool Table, L&K Billiard Pool Hall, 77 Exchange Street, Suite 101, 7 tables, it's a renewal. Paper 166-21, Pool Table, Loyal Order of the Moose Lodge, 1910, 562 Broadway, 2 tables, it's a renewal. Paper 167-21, Self-Service Gas Station, Snap Mart, DBA Petrola, 245 Main Street, it's a renewal. And then paper 168-21, Self-Service Gas Station, Wash Depot 1 Inc., 333 Eastern Ave, it's a renewal.
Thank you, Mr. City Clerk. As you can see, they range from class 2 to lodging house licenses outdoor parking, pawnbroker, secondhand dealer's license, pool tables, and self-serve gas stations. But as I said, they were checked out by our compliance people. We discussed each one and unanimously voted to grant these licenses. So I would make that motion.
So before I entertain Councilor Khan's motion to grant, I would like to ask to recuse myself. I do have a cousin, Spatafora auto body dealer, that they are third cousins, but just to be very transparent, I will recuse myself from the outdoor parking. I'll just
I would
recuse.
second.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to recuse myself for the whole thing to make it easier for everybody instead of try to take them separate. But on Council Spatafora's motion to recuse himself, seconded by Council Condon, clerk will call the roll.
Kamel,
Well, yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crow,
Yes.
Maria,
Yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
Yes.
Sika,
Sika, yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora.
Spatafora, yes. Council Spatafora is recused. Now on Council Condon, I don't see any questions or comments.
Motions to grant.
Yep, on Council Condon's motion to grant the petitions. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Council DiMaria. Clerk will call the roll.
Kamel,
Oh, yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crow,
Yes.
Maria,
Yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
Yes.
Sika,
Sika, yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Petitions are granted. Next order of business.
Paper 204-21, committee report, public properties, petition 140, paper 14221, Selco Partnership, DBA Verizon, 118 Flanders Road, Westboro, Mass, Selco Partnership, DBA Verizon, installation of necessary telecommunication equipment and corresponding aerial fiber optic cable on National Grid-owned utility poles. Verizon also to install antenna and apparatus equipment and aerial fiber route to collocate small wireless facilities, also referred to as small cells, on existing wooden utility poles located within the public right-of-way at the following locations: 448 Ferry Street, Essex Street side, 72 Upham Street, Linwood Street side, 445 Bryant Street, 22 Sharon Street, Maplewood Street side, 41 Maplewood Street, 175 Broadway, Eastern Ave side, 632 Broadway, Route 99, 135 Elwell Street, 562 Broadway, Route 99, 69 Olive Ave, 4 Northern Road, Nichols Road side, 241 Lebanon Street, 95 Jacob Street, Valley Street side, 740 Salem Street, Lawrence Street side, 26 Division Street, 30 Rutland Street, 98 Pierce Street, 50 Hill Street, Kimball Street side, 311 Forest Street, with the condition that equipment not be installed on any poles that are double poles or adjacent to double poles until National Grid replaces them. And these installations do not include mechanical, it says cooking devices, it's cooling devices. We gotta get that straight on these things. Cooling devices or fans. And to table the petition of the following location, 145 Cherry Street, pending further confirmation of the actual distance of the antennas from the homes.
Very good, Council Lucy. You get 2 stars today in reading class. On Councilor Linehan's motion, receive the committee report. Clerk will call the roll.
Mel,
Oh, yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crow,
Yes.
Maria,
Yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
Yes.
Sika,
Sika, yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora.
Spatafora, yes. Committee report is received. Council Linehan for the committee.
Thank you, Councilor Spatafora. So the committee did meet last week. We reviewed these 20 some odd petitions for small cell installations around the city. We did have a public hearing. We had several members of the public. We were also joined by the petitioner's attorney, who was able to answer some of the more technical questions from the committee. as well as from the attendees. I thought we had a pretty productive back and forth on some of the public's questions. We also heard from our building commissioner, Nelson Miller, who always gives very instrumental analysis. After some discussion, we had a motion to table the proposal for 145 Cherry Street pending additional information, and to recommend the remaining petitions for approval unanimously with the usual conditions. So I would welcome any discussion or questions.
Okay, I got a couple hands. I believe it's Council Winslow, and I'll go to Council Kamel. Council Winslow first.
Yeah, I just as I did in committee, I need to recuse myself from consideration of the permit for 95 Jacob Street, which is within sight of my house. So I plan to recuse myself for that one, but we could proceed with all the other ones. Thanks.
Okay, so just before I take up that motion, I'll just ask Council Kamel, do you want to speak?
I do.
Okay, go ahead, Council Kamel.
Because what I have to say is there's a blanket for all of them. So, but it's a general statement anyway. So I think it should be fine without Council Winslow accusing himself yet. I mentioned it earlier in the meeting when we had the new batch come in. As Council Linehan discussed, we had quite a good conversation last week. We did add a condition, and I think it's a standard condition, that these are not installed on public.
What?
I'm on a Stop and Shop.
Okay, all right.
I never got my key, so I can go.
Sorry, Steve, you're
I think Council Winslow has Grubhub coming.
Stop shop.
Okay, that's it.
On a stop shop.
My wife said to stop and shop.
I
for
want
tea,
to
so.
pick me up a
Take a bacon cheeseburger.
Sorry, so we do have the condition that these are not installed on double poles, but in digging around and talking a little bit more with our building commissioner after that meeting, like for example, I know the one at 4 Northern Ave, it's just, that's my neighborhood, I definitely know, it's Tuck Street, and I know that one's a double pole. That to make sure that we actually have the mechanics in this to have some kind of enforceability, there was some recommended wording that I want to make a motion, and I'm going to make that motion to add that condition to all of this, to all of these, or to the entire motion. So I don't know how the recusal plays into that, but I think I'll just make the motion, and acting president Spatafor can decide when to call that vote.
Well, I would probably want to say, Kamel, you want to add it, Council Kamel, you want to add it to all of them, including.
I want to add it to all of them.
Yeah, so I would probably take that up first, then I would take up, pending no other amendments, take Councilor.
Sure.
Take Councilor Winslow's recusal out, and then vote on everything else. Vote on that 95 Jacob Street, and then vote the other ones out separately. A little bit of a 1, 2, 3 process, but I think that's a sequence of events we have to do.
Wonderful choreography.
Thank you.
I sent this earlier to City Clerk Lucy, just so he has it, but I'll read it out here for the record. My motion is to amend by adding the following condition. The final electrical inspection for the purpose of releasing the electrical meter will not be performed at any location where a double pole exists. That's my motion.
Okay, so I will just look to the clerk. Clerk, do you have that?
I do. I have it in writing. Yep.
Perfect. Questions, comments on Council Kamel's condition?
Second.
Which is an amendment, but I called it a condition. So, okay, Noah, I don't see any hands up. So on Council Kamel's amendment, which is a condition, seconded by Councilor Murphy, clerk will call the roll.
Kamel.
Kamel, yes.
Condon.
Condon, yes.
Crow.
Yes.
DeMaria.
Yes.
Linehan.
Linehan, yes.
Murphy.
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley.
Yes.
Tika.
Yes.
Winslow.
Winslow, yes.
Spatafor.
Spatafor, yes. Sounds like that passes. Nice work, Council Kamel. So let's go to the Councilor Winslow's motion to recuse himself just for 95. Let me just make sure I got it right here. 95 Jacob Street, seconded by, I need a second seconded by Council Kamel. So on Council Winslow's motion to recuse himself from 95 Jacob Street, seconded by Council Kamel. Clerk will call the roll.
Kamel.
Kamel, yes.
Condon.
Condon, yes.
Crow.
Yes.
DeMaria.
Yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
Yes.
Sika,
Sika, yes.
Winslow,
Yes, yes.
So Council Winslow is excused recused rather from 95 Jacob Street. So on Council Linehan's, Council Linehan, can we just do this one first? Okay, so on Council Linehan's motion to grant the petition for 95 Jacob Street, seconded by,
I'll second, but I do want to specify with the conditions added
Yep.
both in committee and.
okay, seconded by Council Kamel with making sure we add that condition does carry forth to the this one. Clerk will call the roll.
Mel,
Well, yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crow,
Yes.
Di Maria,
Di Maria, yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
Yes.
Sika,
Sika, yes.
Spatafora.
Spatafora, yes. That carries. So that petition, excuse me, is granted. Next order of business on Council Linehan, I'm just looking at you, make sure I'm saying you're all right with it. So Council Linehan's motion to grant the remaining petitions, seconded by Council Kamel, with the condition that his further condition is attached to all of these as well, even though we did it. Clerk will call the roll.
Kamel,
Well, yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crow,
Yes.
Di Maria,
Di Maria, yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
Yes.
Sika,
Sika, yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora.
Spatafora, yes. Okay, those petitions are granted. Next order of business.
Docket is clear.
Docket is clear. Would anybody like personal privilege? Okay, I'm gonna just do it the way I saw it. So, Council, I'm gonna tell you the order now, Council, because I'll forget. Council Winslow, Council Di Maria, Council Murphy, Council O'Malley. Council Winslow.
Great. Maybe I should have tried it for Jeopardy. I beat everybody to the buzzer. I just want to thank my fellow counselors and all the volunteers across Malden that came out the past few weeks to help on the cleanups. I think we did a wonderful job and did an awful lot. So I want to thank people for that. And then just, I know Councilor Crow and I think you might have seen the announcement. We're sponsoring a bike fair at the Ferryway School on Saturday, May 15th at 10 a.m. And you can go to eventsbright.com to find that. And I'm working with Ron Cochran to get that on the city website. But because of COVID, we're making sure that no more than 125 people are there at any one time. So we are asking people to pre-register at eventbrights.com, but we'll get the flyer and everything out when that comes from Ron Cochran. So just need people to pre-register, but looking forward to that. There'll be a free bike helmet to give away, sponsored by the anonymous donor. The Kiwanis is participating as well. We'll have oil and bike checks by Bike to the Sea. We'll have a bike safety course sponsored by Safe Routes to School and Mass Bike. And we will have a bike raffle at the end that will have some bikes at teen centers fixed up. So a lot going on. So looking forward to that. Thanks. Great.
Thank you, Council Winslow. Council Di Maria.
Thank you, Councilor Spatafora. I just have to say I went to the bike event last year and it's great, fantastic. But I did want to remind all of my fellow councilors that next Tuesday we do pull nomination papers. So it was a gentle reminder for those that we all get to pull our papers, and for any new people that are jumping in, that's the day we begin pulling our papers at the clerk's office. So thank you. Appreciate the time.
Thank you, Council Di Maria. Council Murphy.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to announce, and actually have a little flyer here. The 10th annual Wood 5 Clean Sweep is going to be Saturday, May 8th and very excited about it. In addition to our normal clean sweep, we have a new program that's being introduced, and it's called Earth Day is Every Day. And one of the, there's a couple of things that are going on with this section of the clean sweep. And one of the things that drives me nuts is tree pits. So I've been trying to figure out a way that we can beautify Ward 5 and do something about the weeds that grow in tree pits. So I've got a couple of different initiatives going on here. You can, what we call tend a tree, which is tend a tree pit and adopt the tree pit and keep it clean throughout the growing season. You can put mulch down on it, just as simple as that, and weed free. And I'll deliver you a personalized sign that's saying you're tending that particular area of earth, and with a big thank you. You can also take the opportunity to maybe bring what I'm calling a little bit of the community garden into Ward 5 by creating a micro garden. You can do that around an existing tree pit, or you can do it in an empty tree pit, which would give you a little bit more room. I'm giving you some suggestions about some type of native pollinator plants that you can plant, you know, around the tree or in that tree pit. And if you don't like plants, you could build a fairy house in it. You could do some type of a display with rocks, but the whole goal is to make Ward 5 look great through the growing season. I've also ordered some trees. So if you have an empty tree pit and you would like a tree in front of your house, you can let me know that too, as long as you take care of the tree pit along with the tree. But for all of those, you'll be able to sign up online, and I'll be happy to come by and deliver a nice little personalized sign as a thank you for taking care of the area in front of or near your home. And also, I'm hoping it just kind of, you know, grows, and, you know, one neighbor will see another neighbor doing it, and all of a sudden we'll have Ward 5 looking great, and also, you know, creating a little bit of nature, you know, within the city that we don't normally see. So I'm very excited about it. I hope the idea takes off. And once again, the Clean Sweep Day for Ward 5 is Saturday, May 8th. It starts at 9 a.m. There's some instructions also in the flyer. We'll be delivering them, you know, out throughout the ward over the next week. And, you know, we hope to have good participation in, as I said, working together, we can celebrate Earth Day all year round by bringing more nature into the city. So looking forward to a fun day. Rain date, if it does rain, is May 15th, which will unfortunately, you know, coincide with the bike rodeo. So we'll hope we have sunshine on Saturday the 8th. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Murphy. Council O'Malley.
Thank you very much. If you don't mind, I'm just going to share my screen really briefly. Very exciting. The citywide street tree inventory is currently underway. As you can see here, they have made a lot of progress across the city. If you want to check out the progress that our vendor is doing, you can go right here to www.pg-cloud.com/MaldenMA, and you can see the progress that they are making across the community. And I'm going to stop sharing. Aside from that, I want to wish everyone who celebrates a happy Orthodox Easter that is coming up. I also want to wish everyone, because this is going to be the last time we're on camera, generally a happy Mother's Day, particularly my mother and all the other mothers in Malden. You know, it's really coming up quickly. And the last thing I want to share is that on May 4th, in addition to nomination forms coming out, there will be a special joint committee hearing on redistricting. And this is specifically to receive testimony from residents of the 5th Congressional District. If you're interested in participating in that hearing and providing testimony, it will be on Tuesday, May 4th, 2021 at 5 p.m. It'll be a virtual meeting, which you can sign up at https://MAlegislature.gov/events/hearings/details/ /3682. If you have any questions, please let me know. You can reach out to me at romalley@cityofmalden.org. Thank you.
Council Murphy, thank you, Council Malley. Council Murphy, you have your hand up? Is that any other councilors? Let me just make sure I can see everybody. Okay, if I may, and I don't see Councilor Seeker's hand up, but I just want to let everybody know, myself and Councilor Seeker have been want to first of all thank the community and the residents of not only Ward 8 but the entire city of Malden for the tremendous support in the community fridge. We have one currently operational. People can donate, have been donating. It's been really more successful than I think myself and Council Seeker have thought. We had a Malden resident who was actually reached out to us today, and they're a corporate volunteer, and they want to use their corporate connections to start donating food and variable in other resources. So it continues to move forward. So I really want to thank all the residents for their financial donations, for putting food in. It has not, knock on wood, been used for any nefarious reasons. And I look forward to the summer so we can put some water in there across as it borders the bike path. What I want to do say is Councilor Murphy and Councilor Crowe are both looking to hopefully to get theirs installed in a timely fashion. I was looking to purchase 2 additional fridges along with Council Seeker, and we had a local business owner. I'm not going to reveal that individual's name yet, but they purchased 2 additional fridges that we're looking for 2 spots. And there's 2 more that I'm going to purchase. So hopefully within the next 3 months, there will be at least a total of 9 community fridges, which I'm going to ask Ron Cochran in the mayor's office. I'll probably put up to a resolve that we post the locations on the city website with photos and locations. So if somebody's looking for them, because I did have some residents asking where it is. And if we get multiple locations, we're probably, it's a good problem to have. But I just want to thank all the residents and look forward to the additional 2 coming on in Ward 5 and Ward 1. Hopefully, any week now. I've been calling Councilor Crowe and Councilor Murphy. They're working on it. And finally, I really want to thank Eric Rubin and his team for helping us move the boxes, and certainly Kathy Mack in the Teen Center, which they have been donating their time to paint the boxes. And if anybody's had the opportunity to go look at it, above and beyond my expectations, we gave them carte blanche. They did a great job. I wish I could say the same for Councilor Murphy and Councilor Crowe. They have been very particular in their designs, so much so that Kathy Mack is actually going to put a complaint in, but they're going to come out wonderful. They have their own identity, so we look forward to getting them online. So a lot of feedback on them. I just want to let everybody know more are coming, and any donations we can certainly point you the way. There's a company that will actually stock it for us. But I just want everybody to know, like I said, before the end of the summer, we'll have probably a total of 9 online. Council Seeker, you have anything to add?
I just wanted to say that if any of our fellow councilors has a location that they may be interested in, then they should probably, give us a little bit of a heads up. So far, it looks like the fridges that we do have are all going to be along the bike path, or pretty close to the bike path, which like Councilor Spadafora said is great. For the summer, we can put hoodsies in the freezer. It's not just about, who needs to go and grab stuff for their house, but, if you're taking a bike ride by the fridge, you can stop, grab a water, or grab an ice cream. I want to say thank you to Dara Churches. She is not a Malden resident. She is a friend of mine. She lives in Saugus, and she works for Katsarubis Produce, and she is the one that, when we get donations for the fridge, she calls me, asks, I go check on the fridge a few times a week, and I let her know when we need stuff. There's not a particular schedule. Councilor Linehan, I know you reached out to me last week. I apologize. I was on vacation. But as of right now, there's really not a particular schedule as to when the fridge gets stocked. That's why I created the Malden Community Fridge Facebook page. It's like a group. So every time the fridge gets stocked, Dara or myself would take a photo of it, and then we just post in that community fridge group what was stocked in the fridge for that particular day. It seems to be working. when we post a picture of what was put into the fridge, usually by the end of the next day, everything is pretty much taken, which is great. I've seen people, come and take what they need and leave what they don't. And so far, like Councilor Spatafora said, it's been working out amazingly. People have gotten creative. They have put in little like do-it-yourself cookie decorating kits and little like individual soups from the supermarket. Everything that goes into the fridge needs to be store-bought at this moment due to COVID. And there can be no alcohol, but other than that, it's basically free game as to what you put inside the fridge. The Linden one anyway, people actually on the door, there's a bunch of canned goods and boxes of mac and cheese and things like that. I actually have a student from the Mystic Valley Charter School, Olivia Corielli. She lives in my ward, and her father and her grandfather, Big Ronnie and Little Ronnie Corielli, have actually made a micro pantry, it's called, that we're going to end up putting next to the fridge in Linden Square, so we can have room for all of our non-perishable items such as canned goods, boxes of mac and cheese. We got I have boxes on my front porch already that people have already donated, so we have non-refrigerated milk, things like that, so that don't necessarily need to go in the fridge, and it's not going to take up some valuable fridge space, because there's some days when we get the delivery that all the produce isn't fitting in the fridge. So I'm bringing it home, putting it in my fridge, and then every couple of days I just go and I keep restocking. So if anybody is interested in donating to the fridge, they can go on to Katzaruba's Produce on their website, and they actually have a link, and they do donations to a bunch of different
Did she freeze?
on that page. And if you donate $25, they actually will give us a $50 box of fresh produce for the fridge. So when I talked to Dara before I went on vacation 2 weeks ago, we were at like $350 in donations in just a little over a month's time, which is awesome. So if anybody is uncertain what they want to put in, $25 gets you $50 of fresh produce through Katzaruba's. So again, thank you everybody. And if anybody has any ideas of where the next fridges should be, then give Councilor Spatafora or I a call. Thank you.
Are there hands up?
I had one.
Council Condon?
Yeah, I just want to take a couple minutes to thank Steve Winslow and the DPW for helping the volunteers put together the clean sweep of Ward 2. And I also want to thank the business owners and store owners that were out there cleaning their convenience stores and businesses. And it was amazing to me, the condition of Deva Park. The soccer people are out there, they're picking up everything, and the residents have done a tremendous job keeping that park clean. I don't want to tell you what my job was. You might laugh at me, but I was the pooper scooper on the Fellsway. So I just want to thank everybody for their cooperation. Thank you, Steve.
Well, like they say, Council Condon, if the shoe fits. So, Councilor, anybody else? Council Linehan, anybody? I didn't know if I said here.
I can think of something that rhymes with that.
Okay, seeing none and hearing none on Councilor Crow's motion to adjourn, the clerk will call the roll.
Mel,
Oh, yes.
Condon,
Condon, yes.
Crow,
Yes.
Maria,
Yes.
Linehan,
Linehan, yes.
Murphy,
Murphy, yes.
O'Malley,
Yes.
Sika,
Yes.
Winslow,
Winslow, yes.
Spatafora.
Spatafora, yes. Motion is adjourned. Good night, everybody.